little part-time gig, I think, where she's like delivering groceries or food or something. And it's not, I mean, it's obviously not going to pay for her lifestyle.
Okay, so Keys Truth sent this to the buyer. This bitch is begging for money and parts for her car, and you support her. You are a joke to quit sharing her videos, you stupid bitch. I used to like her, but she took money from me and my family in a time of need. Get a life, whore, and stop trying to get people to support her. Oh, yeah, the parts she had said she needed for her car, she had them posted for sale on Facebook. And yes, you know me, but you no longer support my page. Okay. Anita, Facebook Messenger, no, not Messenger, Marketplace or a post or something. Brand new, still in the packaging, radiator, $100, compatible car parts, and parts numbers listed in pictures. Please contact through Facebook Messenger for any questions. Yep, March 26th. Brand new in the box, starter, $60. Autos compatible are listed in the pictures. Please message me in Facebook Messenger if you're interested. More parts she's selling. Another Facebook Messenger. There was an audio call March 9th at 1:40 a.m. Redacted. I'm just now seeing this. I hope you and your family are doing okay. I've had a really rough day, not going into it because I'm not trying to have a pity party, just stressed. I hope you're all right. And just whatever you can send me a message and let me know what's going on, that you guys are in my prayers. This is Nita saying this to the buyer. The buyer responds, I'm doing okay, just sleepy from staying up. I'm sleepy from staying up. Sleep for thinking what ifs. Mm-hmm. This looks like is this Cash App or some kind of payment history? This person's
Yeah.
history. Get you some cigarettes, $10. Payment $5. Payment $30. Payment 10. Payment 14. Payment 40. Redacted $5.
Wow.
Well, let me just confirm. I am not Ashley87.
Clearly not. And also in here, do you want to bring these up now? I guess while it's still fresh on the screen. Cindy had gotten a letter in the mail from Synchrony Bank. Synchrony Bank is who the Venmo credit card is through, and also who her TJ Maxx credit card is through. Oh, wait. I'm trying to drag it and it's not working here. Okay, Synchrony Bank. Hello, Cynthia Smith. We received an address change and updated your information to your TJX Rewards Platinum MasterCard account. No further action is required. If you didn't make this change, please contact us immediately. If you have any questions or need further assistance, our team is here to help. We appreciate your business and hope you continue to enjoy your TJX Rewards Platinum MasterCard account. Sincerely, Synchrony Customer Care. It is dated 12/27/22, so that was 2 days after Christmas.
Notice that Synchrony is the same bank that the Venmo card is with.
Mm-hmm. And wait, what's this one here? This is a duplicate she requested, I believe, for the Venmo. Oh, a replacement statement for the Venmo card.
But Cindy didn't request that.
Well, Cindy also didn't request an address change either.
Correct.
Oh, No, I just clicked it off my screen. This one has it still at 75 as the
Because
minimum.
that was that first payment, the
The
December
very
payment.
first statement. Let me find the date on here.
It
So
says the
she
due
never
date
responded.
is December 19th. Ziggy got the
Yes.
card in November, so the first statement would have been in December,
Hmm.
And look
or the
at
first
this
payment due.
math here at the bottom. Available credit $1. Cash limit. All right, so that was the first, and then it jumped to 225. Wait, where did I put that
And
one?
I can explain the reasoning for that. It's because when purchases are made and paid off within the first month, they don't charge interest. So that was
Right.
just a 1% that she paid the first time. There was no interest.
I think
Now it's been over 30 days.
She was under the naive misconception that that would be her payment all the time. Would be $75
She should have knew
instead
better,
of
but
right. 100%. She should have known better. She should have known much better than before she maxed out a card.
well, that's true too.
That it was going to be expensive. There's a reason people don't just run up credit cards and, they don't live their lives that way. There's a reason for that. It's a bottomless pit.
Especially when you
Endless
have
cycle.
like private cards and stuff, right? Like sometimes you can get lower interest through like your bank or
Right.
but when you have like a private or a store card or those are always high interest.
Yeah, those are the ones that people take eventually when they've found themselves in over their heads, and take all of those and consolidate them into a lower interest card and pay them off that way.
Right, that's what I do. I transfer the balance from the high interest to the ones with no interest or low interest, because I think the one that I got, there was no interest at all the first year.
That's what I was say. Sometimes you can get an introductory offer on something like that, and that's what a lot of people will do, is go ahead and do those balance transfers, because sometimes there's special deals in those, and that's where you work on them. Then you go over and pay over that minimum payment and knock that debt down.
And this is the second. Is it January? Wait, where's the due date? Okay, yeah, January 1/19 in 1 month. And you can see her placemat right there in the background. She has the paper sitting on a placemat.
And can you show that? Can you go down to the bottom again? Let's look right there, right there, right there. An indication that Cindy put everything that Ziggy says that she sent was put on the bill, and yet the bill still says you have a payment due. Do you go up a little bit? I'm sorry. Where that
I'm trying to make it bigger on my screen, and it's there we go.
See, there it is right there. So it shows that it has had $485 applied to the account, yet it still says that
and how much of that was Cindy? Remember,
Cindy applied $385, which was the cash back. At this point, Ziggy had made $100 payment, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So the interest charges right there, just the interest alone for this statement is $152.49. Add $75 to that. You'll get your minimum payment.
And notice how it says as of 12/27. So this is the recent one with the 285, right? Or 225, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So Ziggy wants to think because she had made two $200 payments since that those automatically applied to January, but that's not correct because that second payment she made, it was done on January or on December 20,
And they were $100 payments.
22nd. Yeah, so she made two $100 payments, but the second one in January, I think it was the 22nd or something like that. So she made one like I have it upstairs in my office, but I think it was like December 4th and December 22nd or something like that. So that reflected in the prior bill. I mean, it's not on the statement because the statement had probably already generated, but it was not applied to what is due for January.
Yes.
Okay.
Scott wants a link.
Yes, sir.
It's for Scott only, Colleen.
Yeah, Colleen. Don't try it. I'm not in the mood.
Oh, I heard Colleen was already on another panel today.
Me too.
Drinky drink, she was.
You guys, do you want to let Griffey go? I know it's late in South Africa.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Griffey.
Thank you so much for coming up here, Griffey.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me up, ladies. And I hope you've had all your questions answered. If not, shoot me an email or come visit me over on my channel. And yeah, I have no issues basically explaining as I do in my unique way, which takes 3 hours, everything that happened from my end.
Everybody,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
please
Go ahead.
go subscribe to Griffey's channel. It's so fun over there. You will laugh. I promise you will laugh. I mean, if you were over there today, you would have heard Colleen drinky drink. And
Yep,
oh my God,
it was great.
it was great.
It
Well, I
definitely
think
was.
we were given permission to play that, so we can do that here in a little bit too. Because Colleen Drinky Drink was especially excited today on channel.
Yeah, good. That's good. We can give them a little taste of Griffey's channel, and they can go over there and become subscribers.
Yes, lots of fun fuckery going on at Griffey's.
Most definitely. Once again, on your own panel, you have my permission to share anything that is on my channel, on your channel.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, Griffey. Good night.
Good night. Have a lovely evening.
Good night.
Love you, lady.
Good night. Night, Scott.
Good night, Griffey.
Well,
Hello,
Hey,
lady.
Scott.
I was just going to add something right quick. Y'all are doing a really great job in explaining this, but I believe it was Dietz that put out a video. Cindy agreed with me in the comments, so I think I'm right on the creator that put it out, explaining kind of the breakdown of the terms of the credit card.
Right.
And she went to a credit card calculator like you ladies have done. And I just wanted to add one thing to what Dietz did. And this is in no way saying that Dietz didn't do a fantastic job on that video, because Ziggy really needs to watch that daily, hourly to understand. On that credit card calculator, Dietz was trying to enter in the amount that Ziggy was claiming that she was going to pay in order to pay the card off, which was less than the minimum balance due. Based on the 1% that goes towards the principal, the other 24% that goes towards the interest. Those combined daily As long as there's no other purchases added, your payment will go down over time. She showed the
Correct.
example that if you pay $225, it will take 20 years. If you pay $200 and I think it was $85, you could pay it off in 2 years. So Ziggy was trying
Right.
to make that math work. It doesn't work that way, and that's what Dietz was explaining. Well, when she went to the credit card calculator on, through Google, she tried to enter the amount that Ziggy said she was going to pay, and the credit card calculator would not accept that amount. The reason for that is Ziggy, or anybody else that's in financial trouble with a credit card, the way that credit cards are set up with the amount applied towards the principal, the amount applied towards the interest with daily compounded interest, it is mathematically impossible to pay off a credit card if you pay less than the minimum payment, regardless if you like that or not.
Correct.
Absolutely. I mean, because
That's
oh my
that's
God, I just said absolutely like PG shit.
I think people choose to
You
say
didn't say it
that's
like
why they
her,
call it a minimum payment. They don't call it a minimum payment because they're being nice.
Right.
They're calling it a minimum payment because they're saying this is the absolute least that you can get by with monthly if you ever expect to pay us back the free money that we loaned you.
Yep.
With the expectation that you would pay it back in a timely fashion. That's how credit cards work.
Well, credit
That's how
cards
bank loans work.
credit cards actually prefer that you just go ahead and just make that minimum payment.
Oh,
So
yeah.
That's how they make the
you're
money.
you're going to be paying them for the rest of your life, and then
And
your kids are going to be paying them.
that's
The only way to win is to pay more than the minimum, and you can use that credit card calculator to figure out how you can get yourself out of that trouble. And
yep.
it really isn't a whole lot more than the minimum payment to actually make a big difference. And
Yep.
I
Well,
encourage everybody to go figure that out on their own debts and have a plan.
I mean,
Absolutely.
everything above the minimum will be applied directly to the principal.
To the
So if
principal.
you're paying the minimum, you're paying 1% of that balance each month.
Correct.
And then you
Yes.
continue to pay the finance charges, the interest on it, which is why it takes so long and they make so much money. Everything above the minimum goes directly off the principal, which means less finance charges.
Yes.
That's how credit card companies will, and banks, any financial institution that loans money, the way that they are able to loan free money, imaginary money to people with the expectation that it's going to be paid back is because they are loaning money that is based off of interest due from other customers. So they are loaning out money with the expectation that they're going to be receiving interest payments from other customers that they've loaned out money to. And like you said, exactly, as long as you pay the minimum interest, you are a constant revenue source for that credit card company to stay in business because they can continue to loan more and more people more and more money.
Yes.
Because eventually they'll get to the point to where if they're not getting the money, and bless Cindy's heart, I don't know her legal situation. I'll know that if she ever wants to discuss it. I'm not going to pry into that, but eventually the credit card company is going to get to the point to where they're going to get their money. They're going to go after that money. So that's going to involve bill collectors and all y'all know all the ugly stuff is going to affect Cindy's credit, all kinds of mess. But
Well, and that's why
that
Cindy
credit
made
card company will go at Venmo will go after their money. They will go after their money.
right.
Mhm.
They're just not going to say, okay, we'll just, we'll just cut the losses here. Now they may do that depending on the legalities of what Cindy's doing. If they can determine that in some way that it was fraud or whatever, then they can get it turned over, and they'll come after the money from Ziggy, which is what they should do,
Right.
and not Cindy. But regardless, Venmo's coming after their money from somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why Cindy made the additional payment today, because she can't have that going on her credit. So she
right.
paid the other 125 that was due today. Yeah, because this is her credit. This is her, it affects her. And
It
and
affects her
potentially
in
the
a lot
legal
of
system
different
can go
ways.
after Ziggy at some point, but I mean, she can't let it just go on her credit like that until that happens.
Yep. So,
And when Cindy made this offer, it was never with the agreement that it would be for 20 years, or
right.
it was never. In Ziggy's own words, she said maybe a
Couple.
couple of years.
Hmm.
A couple of years. That will
From
never happen with minimum payments.
from what I understand, again, I don't know, and it's none of my business to pry in. But from what I understand, I was just looking at it, going over things in my head for hopefully, it would benefit Cindy. My understanding was it was for 2 months rent and a down payment on a car
That's what it was supposed to be for.
to
That's
kind
correct.
of, hold Ziggy up for a little bit to where she could get her feet under her. So I don't know what Ziggy's rent is, and
1,000. She said it.
okay, I heard
the
it was
down-
$1,000, and then it was
2,000.
$700 for the down payment, so that would be
Right.
$2,700.
Right.
If Cindy could prove somehow that those were the terms that were set up, and then the remainder of that money was charged on, the door dashes and the Hawkins County Jail
And the
phone calls,
5,000 cash advance to
the
herself.
5,000 cash advance to her business. If there was some way that Cindy could say, okay, listen, I'll bite the bullet on the $2,700 because I made a mistake or whatever, or I felt, I was trying to help, whatever. But the rest of this, I did not authorize. Now, they may, through a court proceeding, be able to free Cindy from that part of the card.
That's what she's
And-
currently in the process of.
And the
Right.
rest of the card,
The 2,700.
It could actually go into like an
payments on.
identity theft sort of situation, possibly.
Well, when
Because
you're changing addresses on cards and asking for a credit increase,
credit increase,
that does step into the identity theft issues there.
as soon as I heard that call about the credit card increase, I was like, holy cow, she just stole Cindy's identity.
That's right.
She not only, first of all, we were under the understanding, okay, Cindy loaned her this card to help her out. Good move on Cindy.
No, it wasn't a good move on Cindy. It was
Well,
Cindy's heart, but it was a bad choice.
It was a bad choice, but she has a big heart.
It was
She has a huge heart.
It was intended to be good.
Yes,
Even though it was a
absolutely.
poor decision, it was intended to be good.
Right, absolutely.
The rest of it was, we know how that occurred. And I was like, that's a crappy thing to do, to max the card out in 14 days or whatever. And I was like, man. And then I get this revelation that she's called for a credit card increase. And I was like, ooh, that just went into criminal. That went in from being a shitty person by maxing out somebody else's credit card to being a shitty person that maxes out a credit card and then takes their identity to try to further
Scam the person more.
scam
Yes.
the person for even more money. So, wow.
A credit
Wow.
I
increase.
agree.
She can't even make the damn minimum payment this month. But she wanted a freaking credit increase and make it even more? Get the
Right.
hell out of here.
Right.
No, and I
And
have
Learn
Ziggy
to
saying,
financially plan.
I have Ziggy saying multiple lives, which I have them all clipped, that our agreement was for 2 months rent and a down payment on a car.
Yep.
So she has
Perfect.
admitted that multiple times.
Perfect. Well, hopefully all that would take was to get a certified letterhead from the rental agency or the property owner if it's an individual that rents a property. Some sort of legal documentation showing the amount of rent that's due, and then she would have to produce a receipt from a car dealership for a $700 down payment. If she can't do that, then she could very well be responsible for the whole lot.
Well, we have the receipt because it's on the Venmo card for the $700 down payment to
Well,
buy
that's right.
Ryder.
That's right. Cindy's still getting the statements.
And
So
the
yeah,
rent, that wouldn't be hard to get because it is an individual owner, but you could easily look up who owns the property.
And subpoena them if you have to.
yeah. It sounds like Cindy would have an easy time getting that stuff if she so desired. It's I would not like to be Ziggy right now.
No, and I already looked it up. She has said couple years. This was a couple years, guys. Couple. Google the definition of couple. It is 2.
2.
It's not
Yeah.
20.
So if
Yeah.
you take the balance that is currently due and you look at what you would have to do to pay that off in 2 years, it's $375 a month.
Yeah.
That should be her minimum.
In order to pay it off in 2 years, correct?
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And I know she wants this to go away, but as long as she owes Cindy money and she keeps fucking her over, no, it's not going anywhere.
Not going
It's here.
anywhere.
Well, that's good. Y'all, I know I've personally commended each of you or tried to for doing this, and everything that you all do is when it comes to this financial fuckery that goes on around here. I try to do the best, but like I said before, I'm not involved in every group of people that are doing this stuff, but I'm 100% behind you all for calling it out and trying to enlighten people and let them know, because I try my best to do the very same thing. It's just it's disgusting, and I can't think of a much of it until you get into like physical criminal harm. There's nothing worse than financial crimes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
In my personal opinion, what Ziggy needs to do, and we all know based on her having a judgment right now, a current judgment on her record, she's not going to get a loan.
Multiple judgments.
Well, you have
She
to have a
needs to
job
go
to
to
get a
her
loan.
parents. She needs to go to her parents. She needs to see about getting a loan or having them co-sign and making her payments through whatever institution she gets a loan at and paying this card off.
Yep.
Why do you think she didn't do that in the first place?
Because her parents wouldn't do it. That would be my guess.
That's my guess too. That she's probably fucked them over already one too many times.
Yeah.
There's a reason she didn't go ask them.
Well, I mean, do you think Cindy would loan her another credit card? No. You get screwed over
Right.
and you don't make the same decisions, and I imagine it's the same for them.
That's right.
I mean, it would have been the same when she was looking to move out from a DV situation, as we all heard about, and what, or what, I don't know, domestic violence, but maybe not that, but emotional abuse or whatever she claimed it to be.
You
I mean,
all,
if it was my daughter and my daughter was in that situation, I would have helped her get out, right? So if
Well,
that
they
was all
knew
true,
it
why
was
wouldn't her
bullshit.
parents have helped her? There's a reason behind that.
They knew it was bullshit.
They did.
Wow. So I don't know all of those ins and outs
That
like
was
you all
last
do.
December.
Some things, when you're not directly involved in groups, you get like surface level stuff. You never get,
right.
all the intricacies and stuff. But
I mean,
I
this,
don't know.
yeah.
Her whole existence on here was a lie. She came on here last, October? November already. She's asking subscribers for money because she needs to move out because he's controlling, he's emotionally abusive. You know why? Because she had just gotten her daughter back that summer and he was on her to be responsible. Like, you need to get the fuck up in the morning and get this child to school. You need to feed this child. Knock your shit off. Why are you disappearing 2-3 o'clock in the morning with your child? Where are you going? He thought she was going to meet the dope man. And he
Oh,
was
wow.
just the bullshit. He wanted her to be a responsible adult. So she twisted that into, oh, he's emotionally abusive. He's controlling. I need to get out. And we freaking bought it hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, honestly, we just seen what Ziggy did in 14 days with the credit card. She needs some control. She needs somebody to control her because obviously she doesn't have it in her own self.
Right.
Where's all this money going? It's not going for bills because we now know Jim was paying her bills the entire time. His family found the receipts.
Yeah, but her channel started dying about February of last year. It went back up when she went to Tennessee in June, and then it died back out again because it's just been drama and bullshit since.
Yeah.
So
Nobody was
she's
interested
not
in the
making that
reality
much.
show.
And even now, and I mean, I don't. If you want to watch her, watch her. If she has something on Summer that's not her words, that's somebody I'll watch it because I followed this case. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't super chat. I don't care about my half a cent view, right? You're not going to make your money on your half a cent view. And if you looked in the last one, I think I saw 2 members.
Oh, in the chat.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
she's not, I mean, okay, you're looking right here. 10 of us just canceled our membership, plus many, many more.
Right.
Yeah, YouTube is a hobby. It
Right.
should be her hobby, not her job.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and
Well,
as I was,
and I wouldn't necessarily be against somebody using YouTube as their job. I never would ever say that because it just, we'll throw out the word that everybody loves to use as a negative word for me, a capitalist. Hey, this is America. The money is there, success is there. You just have to go for it. Grab it by the horns. If those horns aren't working for you, let go and grab some other horns. But having said all that, believing that everybody in America has the right and the same opportunity to work hard, get educated, grab hold of the opportunities that are presented to you to make money, but do it in a moral and ethical way where it doesn't harm other people. So if you wanted to do YouTube as a job, there's tons of people that do YouTube as a job.
Absolutely.
And they
put so much time.
livings, but they're doing it legally, morally, and ethically. And if you can do that and make money and make a living, perfect. But
ironically, I was listening to an old Ziggy live where she went after Nita's World, her channel.
I remember
I guess
that.
they had some beef. And she's on there telling Nita how she's not going to be able to make a living on YouTube and how she should have a job and all of the things that she is telling Nita in that video, Ziggy
Right.
has no, like, I guess she doesn't have a mirror. Because
Right.
she was like, she's guilty of all those things that she was telling Nita that she shouldn't be doing. Crying, using sob stories, asking subscribers for money. I mean, that live she did to call Nita out, she could have just gave herself the same lecture. It would have probably done a
But
lot
I
more good.
honestly don't think she thinks she did anything wrong.
She
Yeah.
does not seem to think that she's done anything wrong. Everybody that is upset about what she did is the people that are wrong. Us jerks for calling it out. We're the ones that are in the wrong. We're the ones that are horrible people, because why can't we just let her take Cindy's money and mind her own business?
And the conspiracy theories now too. Oh, we've been plotting this since April, don't you know? In Discord, I guess we had some secret back channel.
Can you imagine? How would we plan that one?
And we had
Cindy, if
Cindy.
we're like, okay,
set
Cindy,
this
you're
up.
going to give her a credit card and you're going to, blah, blah, blah. And she's not going to, Cindy would have told us to go to hell. Come on.
My last
She
money.
loves us, but.
Oh, yeah. Not that much. My last money
Right.
sent to Ziggy was in November, early November. Actually, no, that wasn't money. I sent a gift card to her daughter. The last Cash App was in October. So, I mean, why am I going to continue to send money to you if I'm conspiring to take you down?
Right.
No.
Hey, listen, I've super chatted Ziggy before. I've seen her. I remember. I don't think it was. I can't remember when her birthday was, but
It's
I
March.
sent her a $25 Starbucks card. I try to do that if I find out people's birthdays. I don't do it all the time. I don't. I'm not on the internet all the time, so I don't always know when people's birthdays are. And
No, I got one too, and I don't even remember telling you my birthday.
right. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes I'll do things like that for creators, and I believe in supporting creators, and becoming members and, super chats and super stickers, if they're putting out something that, that's entertaining to me or informing me or,
Right.
whatever.
And I don't think any of us are trying to say don't do that. What we are saying is be careful. Be careful about why you're sending them money. What's the sob story? If you're sending it to tip them, to say, hey, thanks for the content, great job, all of that, there's nothing wrong with that. But just be careful, beware, Don't ever hand over anybody on YouTube or otherwise your credit card.
Right. Well, that goes into, part of what my, live stream was yesterday, and I'm not here, to pump that, but there's lines between your internet life and then real life, and when you start crossing those lines, like credit cards over to people on the internet that you don't really know,
right?
Anything, or giving addresses to people you don't know, or personal phone numbers, and things
Happy
like that.
Happy birthday, Wee Frosty.
Oh, is it Wee Frosty's birthday?
On the 21st of Janvember.
Janvember? Okay, I got you, Wee Frosty. I got you. As soon as Janvember rolls around, I get lucky. One of my favorite subscribers has got their birthdays on the leap year, so I'm good. Every fourth year. But
I got married on a leap year, so my husband only has to remember every 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God, that gives him a long time to forget and get in trouble.
That's what I was just thinking.
No, we just do something
is it
good
a
every
year
4 years.
already?
Yeah.
And I'm not against anybody or any person that has given Ziggy any money or super chats, or I would never hold that against anybody. If you've ever, given super chats or super stickers or memberships or support for her channel.
But a lot of it was
Up
under
to this
frustrations.
point, and for me personally, I can't
We
do
gave
that
her money,
anymore.
Scott, because we thought she was a struggling single mother whose business was failing because of people on the internet.
No.
We had no idea that this entire time she never had a legitimate business to begin with. She has a registered LLC, but she does not have.
Hold on a second. Bobby is my birthday twin. Not
Oh,
the same
cool.
year. There's many years difference, but that's
Oh,
all.
Oh, so your
January
birthday's
27th?
coming up. Oh my God, we have to have a birthday party for Eliza.
Yeah, in a week.
Yay!
Yes, but back to what I was saying, we were bamboozled from day one. Okay, I sent her, I think it was around $700 the entire year, which I stopped in the spring because she was just ridiculous. The rest of the money that I sent was for sales. I bought a coat and a bunch of other random crap. But had anybody known the truth this entire time that she had someone living with her paying 100% of her bills, her rent, her gas, her electric, her car insurance, her phones, we never would have sent as much money as we did. Because it certainly wasn't for the content, because the content was even all bunk. It was
Since
all
February, the content was.
she came in with a
Yes.
fake CPS report, which she admitted came from some rando on Facebook who could have made the whole thing up. And then she had, the people who knew the Wells boys in foster care contact her to straighten things out. Like, look, no, it is not that. It is this. And then she spun that into something that it wasn't. So this entire time, it was 99.9% bullshit. Fred Hill is bullshit. Anybody believing a word that man says needs their head checked.
Yeah.
But I do still like to hear what he says, because he's still on there, whether it be truthful or not. It's good to put the pieces together,
I mean, you
right? And
listen
hear
to
from him.
it,
So I did enjoy that content.
you
Right.
can't really put stock in anything any of them are saying.
You can't.
Like
But-
the title we were going to talk about tonight, Summer is lost in her own case. It's all bullshit. Dawn is a liar. Candace is a liar. Jody
Yep.
Sue Brown is a liar. Andy Bernard is a liar. Fred Hill is a liar. They are all freaking liars. They're all strung out on God knows what,
Yep.
imagining shit, making up scenarios. We can't
But
credit.
here's
any
the
of
real problem. Everybody got so busy talking about all the BS around all the circus performers, and they forgot about a little girl who's
Yes.
still missing. We still don't know where she is. We are no closer today than we were a year and a half ago on
Right.
knowing what happened to Summer. Where is Summer? Where is Summer Wells?
And that is so sad. It's
Extremely.
it's really, really sad.
No, and as far as we know, all of this information could have put us even farther away from finding Summer.
Well, because everybody's reporting everything from YouTube to TBI. I mean, they're having to sift through bullshit. Sift through bullshit, not shift.
1,500 bogus tips in the first month of her
Right.
disappearance.
Right. And we've still got people on that we watch regularly, or at least, see clip channels of people still calling. One of them that sits in a camper and the other one that sits in a garage. And there was 3 other ones that I know of that were sitting in their homes. You've heard me mention those on my live streams, that were, again, crossing the boundaries of internet life into real life, actually becoming involved with the people and making phone calls on them to, Child Protective Services and law enforcement, Hawkins County, Sullivan County, TBI, so on and so forth. And you can tell, when the officers or whatever answer that they're aggravated because they know that people are just doing it to be, no offense, but jerks.
Malicious. Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
malicious.
Yeah. And it's like, gosh, I mean, you can tell they're just freaking fed up with it. Oh gosh, XX Country says, I just saw a call made on Dawn. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, JLR posted it. So now he's reporting
Yeah.
everything to CPS. I mean, fucking, it's not our business. This is YouTube. Talk
Right.
about the case, get her name out there, talk about whatever. But why are people becoming so involved in these cases? I don't get it.
Because
We
they're
have to
making
stop
a
inserting
shit
ourselves.
ton of
They
money.
have. Well, here's the thing, and everybody feels their own way about what they think happened this summer. Some have decided that Dawn and Candace absolutely have done this, even though law enforcement has not found enough to come to that conclusion. So they feel entitled to make them lose their jobs, to report them for this, that, and the other. It just it that's what I mean about the circus and the sideshows.
Yep. I don't think that there's a thing wrong with us sitting up here and going over and looking at the people involved and all the weirdness and talking about it until the cows come home. As long as we sit here and we talk about it.
Right. You don't go real life like that.
We don't go right. Yeah.
Well, and here's my opinion on people calling CPS, because I just seen a whole shit show today on a different channel against a different channel. I'm sorry, but unless you have physically witnessed anything, don't call CPS.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I had that exact same conversation with some of the creators that I've called out on my live stream about that very thing.
If you don't like the creator,
they made the calls, and I was like, listen, you all made the calls. You got law enforcement involved. You got Child Protective Services involved. It's their deal. It ain't your kid. It ain't never been your kid. If this other parent wants something to do with their child, it's their responsibility to do it. It's not your responsibility to prod him to do this just so you can piss off the other person.
That's my whole thing, is these people that are doing this, the creators and whatnot, that say, oh, I'm here for kids and protect the kids and Summer Wells and all of that, are forgetting one thing. When they get in their little pissing matches with the other creators and they want to call CPS, there are innocent children involved that are being affected by this, traumatized by this. If you don't know that there is a situation, you don't know that for a fact, knock it off. Kids are being affected and it's not right.
Right.
I agree. And foster care and taking those kids out of their environment based on bullshit is not better for those kids. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times, I mean, we've seen this with the West kids, in California. Some people just do it because they're getting money.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and
true.
I think it was, oh gosh, who did I watch today? And I'm just going to call it out. I want to say it was Hills on the Air, or here's going to be my choices: Hills on the Air, Deets on the Street, or Lippy. I don't know, one of them, probably not Lippy, put out a video essentially of, remember back when the whole Cam and Allie were there with the same time that the Hills on the Ground were there?
Yeah.
And Molly's pissed at him. And she's like, I'm calling CPS. Get me their information. I'm calling CPS. For what? They didn't have their kids with them. You didn't
never
witness
have
anything.
taken their kids there.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet he has had CPS called on him multiple times. Not one time have I ever seen their kids on panel. Not one time have I ever witnessed anything through their lives that would tell me that they're neglecting their children. What are people doing?
Right.
Mhm.
I don't get it, but it was a great clip because it went through all the times of her saying and Molly didn't just say it about Cam and Allie. There were multiple people.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I can assure you, if my child wasn't already, grown and moved out on his own, if he was a child,
They would have called on you too.
oh, I would. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's bullshit because nobody has witnessed anything. We didn't witness anything from the Wells, right?
Correct.
No.
So why would we call CPS? Because we don't know. If the parents were suspected, they would be the persons of interest. But no, everybody is. I mean, we can look at photos, we can make judgments, but we don't know. And it's also, I think it's hard to, a lot of people
And again,
pick apart them just because of the way they lived, because we don't live that way. But we don't know what it's like in that area. To me, it seems like it's a pretty normal thing where they were from.
well, even if you want to, sit on the internet and pick them apart, you can do that because it's not directly causing them any harm. Listen, I'm here to tell you, Don and Candace Wells and Jose and Dudley Ajon and who else, all the other players in the game, they have absolutely no idea who I am. They don't watch me on YouTube. They don't watch Circle Jerks on YouTube. People in the true crime community on YouTube watch us.
Right.
These other people, well, I mean, Don might know just because, he's been around, on other creators' channels and whatnot. Probably heard of me or whatever.
Oh,
but,
for some reason, he's watching everything right now.
right.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, shit, he was in our chat. Who the hell are we? We weren't around when he was, talking before.
We weren't even a
Right.
channel before he went to jail.
But he pops up in our chat.
But I mean, even if we want to sit here and pick somebody apart, that's not doing actually. They can always turn the channel. They don't have to listen to us. That's where I don't understand the disconnect in people and the internet is, listen, my nanny ma, when I was growing up, she used to love to watch her stories, Days of Our Lives and Guiding Light and all that business and stuff. I hated it when I was up there and it was raining because I couldn't get the heck away from listening to them stories that she watched every afternoon. But when I grew up, I can assure you, I never ever watched the stories again because I don't like them. It doesn't interest me. That they're no positive value to me whatsoever. So I don't watch them. Why can't people make that same?
Because they have to pick apart the creators
with the internet. If it's like, I mean, it's like. I'm trying to think of and I'm not calling any people out because I don't know these people because I don't watch that particular part, but I've heard of them because a lot of the viewers that view true crime view them. And yeah. I don't know if they would actually be true crime like Ernie and Jimbo and The Stand and Kemper and
right.
Benny was in on that too, but that's a whole different thing than the true crime thing. So I knew who Benny Keys was, but I don't know what all's going on Ernie's channel and Jimbo's channel and all them because I don't pay attention to them.
Well, Ernie Shell inserted himself into the Summer Wells.
He did.
So that's how he kind of.
I feel like a lot of people inserted themselves.
Right.
But there's other people like
for money. Period. The end. That's
I
why
saw this
bunch
other
of people did.
there were creators that I'd never even heard of until like the Kylie Rodney case. Like there's a young lady, I think she does a pretty good job. I heard she got in trouble or something the other day. 10 to Life.
Oh, I like 10 to Life.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
got a great channel.
She's got
What
like
happened?
500,000 subscribers. Listen, I'd never even heard of that lady in my whole entire life. Icked Mail, I remember hearing about him a long, long time ago. And then when Kylie Rodney, you know, he did a lot of the coverage on that, he popped back up. And I was like, oh, yeah, Icked Mail. I'd even forgot about Zav Girl.
You
I
can't
do watch
forget
Zav
about
Girl.
Zav Girl.
And
I like
it's
Zav Girl.
nothing. Well,
I do
listen,
too.
it's nothing about the people themselves. It's just, I'm not that connected to the internet to where I know all these people. And it's like, holy cow, how did I miss these people? These people have got huge channels. And then there's other people that have way, way smaller channels that I do pay attention to, that I guarantee, you know, other people. I've got a small channel. There's tons of people that have no idea who Scott H is. I guarantee you 10 to Life and Ickamel have no idea. Now, Zap Girl does, because Zap Girl did have me on her panel one time, which was pretty cool. But do you get what I'm saying?
No, I understand exactly.
I
remember in
can't
Kylie's case, all
understand why
these people
people
came
keep
out of the woodwork.
subjecting themselves to creators or subscribers or channels or cases that get them to a point to where they want to start calling child protective services on their enemies' kids, or, you know, call the police on them and file reports on them and just do all kinds of frivolous things, you know. Now JLR, he's like the king of doing frivolous things, you know. I just don't get it. I never will.
I won't either.
That's why I like y'all so much, because y'all see things a lot like what I do, and it's just like, you know, these fucking people are crazy as hell. Let's call them out and talk shit about it, you know.
I mean, people want to know why the jerks don't cam up. That is the reason why. I have nothing to hide in my personal life, but I have so much to protect.
I cammed up, but do you see how laggy it makes to stream when I turn my camera on? Can you imagine 9 people doing that?
Yeah, I know. But still, it's the same for me. Like when YouTube starts affecting my real life, I'm gone. I'm done. It's not worth it. It's not worth my kids, my husband, you know, my job, everything. It's not worth it.
I've seen what I consider to be 2 very, very kind, intelligent, compassionate ladies delete their channels within the past couple of months because of this stuff. And they didn't let it get to the point, because they're smart ladies. They're very intelligent ladies. They just got to the point they were like, fuck this. These damn people are crazier than hell. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, and that's sad, because the good ones are leaving while the trash is still here.
Right.
The trash always sticks around. It's like stuck to all the walls and everything. It's stink.
I mean, these would be one of the subscribers. I mean, she's local here. I love her to death. She's the sweetest woman you could ever meet in your life. But some of her live streams would only have like 25 people in them. But they were fantastic. You know what I mean? You could interact and talk about silly stuff and poke and have fun and whatever, and, you know, talk about a little true crime here and talk a little bit of YouTube streets drama there, and then, you know, maybe talk about going to a flea market or selling something on eBay, or, you know, cleaning your house, or, you know, she used to do a lot of she was big into minimization, you know, clearing out clutter out of your home and stuff like that. Your home, your wardrobe, every part of your life, whatever.
Right.
Just really, really fun channels. But you see these people go because of crap, because
Yeah.
people want to go real life on you and start affecting.
Scott, we get criticized if we talk about the weather or we talk about cookies or we talk about cleaning or things like that, that some other creators seem to think that they get to decide what our content is.
Right.
Cooking cookies. They get
It's
offended.
unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, we just come on here and talk about whatever we want.
That's what we've always been, is we're just gonna chit chat about what it's basically like what we would do in our Discord phone calls and group chats, and we decided to just put it on a panel and see if anybody else wanted to talk
we
about
have
what we
fun.
talk about.
We have
Weather
so much
report.
fun.
Look at all that rain. Get some umbrellas for your dumpsters, y'all.
Yeah.
I love this.
That is fabulous.
I love it because I've never seen you all, like, it's not your all's real life. You can tell that. It's not
Right.
your all's real life because you never fire up. I never wake up in the middle of the night or wake up the next morning or whatever and check my YouTube notifications and see that the Circle Jerks went live at 3:12 a.m. to have a scream rage on somebody because they left a comment under one of their videos. I've never seen any of you all do
I
that.
can't even imagine how that conversation goes when I call up the other ladies. By the time that I call them up and talk about how we're going to fire up this middle of the night live, we're just going to be laughing about it, and Soup is going to send my ass to bed.
Well, and that's the thing, because most of us have jobs, right? So we have to be up in the morning. So 3 a.m. live is not a thing we can do. And even that, there are sometimes, do we get pissed at shit that are said? Mostly in regards to Cindy. Yeah, we do. But you know what we do? We go into a voice chat and we talk about it. And by the end of it, we've talked it out.
Yeah, we vent.
Right.
We don't expect that everybody else should have to listen to us rant and rave just because we're mad. We want it to make sense. And we also want to have a little fun while we make it make sense.
I started here and it was a while back when you were going over it was right when the Cindy Ziggy thing was breaking out and the phone calls were coming out, those damning phone calls that were supposed to frame or show that Lady CG was involved and that Cindy had said, here's all my private information, go blow it all.
What those phone calls really were intended to do, some of them that were put out maliciously, they were different calls put together instead of no context of what Ziggy said. What that was intended to do was to try to drive a wedge between
Circle Jerks.
The different Circle Jerk panel members. And
right.
That's just, our friendship's not like that.
But I never saw any of you all fire up, because some of y'all have your own individual channels. I know Pearl has her own individual channel. Eliza has hers. Of course, Lolita has this one. You all probably have access to this one.
Yep.
Yeah,
if you wanted to. But
I've been given permission to go live
once.
whenever I want on this channel.
Yeah.
I never saw once any of y'all
to everything.
Call CPS on Ziggy's kids.
This is right here.
Oh, never.
I never would, because I've never witnessed anything with my own eyes.
Right.
If she fired up a live and was beating on her kid live and I witnessed it, I probably would.
Well,
sure.
I would call 911. I probably wouldn't call CPS. I'd call 911 to go rescue the kid.
But you weren't making. I've never seen any of y'all make a vengeful call against her, even though you all believe that she did some really crappy stuff to a really good friend of yours. Y'all have never went real life. You see what I mean?
We don't go real life on anybody. And honestly, we don't try to talk about stuff that is not already on YouTube.
Right.
So if it's on YouTube, then we'll talk about it. If it's not, we don't.
Right.
Correct. There's a lot of stuff that we know that has gone on behind scenes and personal things that people have emailed us about other people. We're not talking about that. It's not going on YouTube. It's why bring that out? And we're not out to go ruin people, because we found out that in 1987 they ran a red light and they had a joint in their car, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not who we are. I mean, a lot of people do email stuff, but we're not an exposed channel. We're not exposing people's shit. No, go do that on your own channel. If we find it interesting, we might talk about it.
Right.
And I don't want people losing jobs or losing their kids because of her stupid YouTube. Don't do that.
Now, one thing I would like to say, and I know that you all would support this, and then I'm going to hop down and let y'all continue on your show. I just wanted to come up and say about the mathematically impossible to pay off a credit card if you make less than your minimum payment. But I really enjoy talking to you ladies. But
no, it's been a good chat. I like it.
Because
this was part, I mean, ultimately just the fuckery and people forgetting summer was part of our discussion. It was our main after last night. It's just, it's insane to me.
Well, it was cool that you all had Griffey up. I think that was really cool. Griffey and Stella and I, in the very beginning of Summer's case, we were really good friends. Lord, we used to joke around like crazy. Because, Griffey and Stella are wives, and I would always aggravate them because in Discord, I would tag Griffey and then I would write me and then I would tag Stella. Like I was in between the two of the, like I was the little sandwich between the two girls, I had a girl on each side. And we used to laugh about that so much, but we would talk about other things too. But that was kind of our greeting, whenever we would come into the bigger Discords, like AB's had a big Discord back then, and the interview room, way back in the very beginning. And I would see Griffey or Stella in there or whatever. So that would be my greeting to them, is I would be like Griffey, me, Stella, And then, she would, respond or whatever. And, it was funny. And there was a lot of laughs had for a really long period of time. And that
Griffey and Stella are they're just like sunshine. They're so much fun.
Right.
I enjoy their channel.
I do too.
I think there was BS is saying she thinks that's where she met them too. And Morris is saying those were the days. Yes, exactly, Morris. Exactly. And it was just, but somewhere along the line, there was some kind of fuckery that came in there. And I appreciate Griffey answering the way that she answered, because she did answer. She gave an answer. She didn't just, bullshit around. She actually gave an answer to a question that I asked. Because I was like, that was a good quote unquote internet friendship that got screwed up because of fuckery, and it's and then you find out about all the other stuff.
Didn't Nita incorrectly dox you at one point, like she did to TM?
Don't know where.
Do what now?
Didn't Nita incorrectly dox you at one point? Just like she incorrectly doxed TM?
It's possible. I can't really remember because I haven't. Yeah, I need to get with Wee Frosty because see, there was stuff screwed up there too, and I never got the gist of what was going on. Because Wee Frosty is really cool too.
Yeah.
She says she got kicked out of TM's on purpose because I stuck up for Scott. Still haven't been paid, by the way. See, I don't even know what that whole deal is even about. I just know that for some reason there was,
Means you owe her a check.
something going on. Yeah, I mean,
She's getting
Just
on the
send her
Scott
some
payroll.
roses. Just send her flowers and it'll all be good.
She's
Or-
getting on the Scott Age payroll. Apparently,
all she
everybody's
has
on
to
it.
do is just speak, and I'm like, I'll melt, that accent that she's got.
Yeah.
She'll speak for you, Scott, for just a mere small price of $17.
Right. Right.
Should I think I seen her comment? She'll send you daily nuds for $17.
She will do a lot of different things for $17.
There's another one that I saw that just snuck in here. Lean on Me.
I love her.
That's a fantastic channel to go to.
I was
That
watching
girl,
her live. I was watching her live the other night, and she said she was 50. I was floored. That girl is gorgeous.
She is.
absolutely
50
freaking
can be
gorgeous.
gorgeous, guys. 50 can be gorgeous. Why do people always act like somehow when you hit your 50s that you turn into some sort of troll? It
No,
doesn't
I
happen
look
That's
like
so
not
that,
what I
nice.
was implying. I'm just saying she is absolutely beautiful. She looks so much
Okay.
younger than 50. I was
does.
floored.
That's fine. I just wanted to establish that. I've got a birthday
I
coming
know.
up. I don't want people thinking that somehow when you're in your 50s, you just become this wrinkled up prune like troll.
Oh no, honey, I
No.
smell 50. I can smell it coming. It's coming.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It'll be okay.
I think I'll be all right.
Great. 60
Lean
even
on
better.
Me is a channel that from the very beginning, the very first time I ever met or watched Lean on Me before I quote unquote met her, I've never physically met her. She is the same exact person now as she was then. That girl has not changed in her morals, her values, her outlooks. She's just an unbelievable person. If you're not hanging around and a member to Lean on Me, you need to be one. If you want
Yes.
somebody that's real salt of the earth kind of person.
Yes.
Well, even last night, I watched Cam, I watched you, and then I went back and watched her, and it was refreshing.
Yep.
It was refreshing, and she just kind of took all of it, all the bullshit away, right?
Yep. And every live stream that I've ever been on, which I go to every one that I can catch, every one is it the exact same way, because she is real. You know what you're getting when you go over there. You know what you're getting.
Oh no.
I
Colleen
see.
drink is in trap. Watch out, everybody. And nobody
We've got
time
to
her
show.
out.
We've
Don't
got to show
dare time her
Colleen's
out.
interview.
Yeah, I did see Lenny said before we go, we have to play Colleen from today, which we will.
Oh, for sure.
Please. That was so funny.
Well, I will jump down now, ladies, and let you all continue. Thank you again for having me up.
Thank
Thank
you,
you again
Scott.
for your all's
Thank you, Scott.
content and your shows.
For
We
coming.
always enjoy having our hubby come and visit us.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
We adore
Y'all
you.
are
Family
outing me way too much, though.
You're out yourself.
Yeah, I learned today early before the show started that we've had this little thing with Angel. Y'all saw? I know the leader saw it. Angel's video that she put out.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to say we should play that.
I got the hots for Lolita, and then Angel admitted she got mad at me because she found out that Lolita was an internet wife. Well, then she found out that Lita's so hot that she can't blame me that she probably would have, went after Lolita as well too. So she informs me before the show here that Lolita is hers, and I'm just out of the picture completely. I was the estranged internet boyfriend, and now I'm just gone because she's full
wait,
on
wait, wait,
Lolita.
wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
Lolita's my bitch.
Uh-oh, Angel.
They're
Angel,
gonna
you
protest
hear that?
barefoot or something.
There's plenty of Lolita to go around.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's what I was thinking, Lolita. There's plenty of me to go around. You girls, you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight.
No, there's plenty of
We
room
don't
for
fight.
Angel and Lean on Me.
So I can put the Jello pool away.
Yeah, we can use another redhead, and she's funny.
Right.
Yeah, Cindy, please tell Scott I'm a jerk. Cindy is a jerk. She has actually been.
Oh yeah, she was
from
trying to
day
tell
one.
you.
Yeah,
She was trying to tell you in chat last night so many times, and you kept missing it. But yeah, Cindy's a jerk. She's
I
one
see.
of our behind-the-scene jerks
They kept missing
with
me
a secret
too.
identity.
TJ's a jerk too.
Yes, TJ,
And
OG
TJ.
Buttercup. I just missed KB right there. KB was giving me thanks right there. Yeah, I knew, and I even said in my live last night that I'm gonna miss a bunch of people, and I know I've missed a bunch of people, but
Well, you're up to date now.
Well, some of them are just behind the scenes, so
Yeah, you just need to know who all you're married to. Come on now.
right.
there's
That
actually a
is-
lot of us.
That
Yeah,
is very
Cindy
true.
came on our very first because in the beginning it was so hard to get everybody together. We were recording them and then releasing them as a premiere. And Cindy coming on, she didn't know how to. Like a lot of people have never done this before, so they don't know how to work StreamYard. So she's like having full conversations with her husband as we're trying to record a panel. That was funny.
Well, remember last night, or was it? I think it was last night or the night before. I don't remember.
voice
Everything
Oh,
runs
last night when
together.
we were in a private one.
And then she's like, "Oh, that's back chat. I had no idea that was back chat."
No, Scott's just a hoe. He's a male hoe.
Did
And
you
we
see
love him to pieces.
Carol's comment? She's just calling you all hoes. She says, Scott H, you can have your fun with these hoes, but when it's time for Mexico, it's adios putas.
Call me a puta.
There, Cindy changed her name. Cindy Jerk. There you go.
There we go.
There you go, Cindy
All
Right.
Jerk.
right. Gotcha, Cindy Jerk.
I
love
adore
it.
her.
Oh, you ladies are great. I love y'all
Thank you, Scott.
equally.
Appreciate that.
Equally,
do.
listen to that.
So we all get a wet bar?
Put that in.
So we all get a wet bar.
Oh, I clicked on that link that Lolita put out of her wet bar. She put it out in chat. That is absolutely beautiful. Of course, we know our Lolita. She has magnificent taste in her. All the way down to her luxurious wash powders.
Yes, Tyler's luxurious
Hey.
something or another.
Those wash powders are amazing. You
She's
need to
no
get you
joke,
some,
man.
Scott.
Scott,
She's
how do
a-
you feel about a raccoon house?
The Raccoon House.
There's a YouTube channel already.
Oh, the YouTube channel, the Raccoon Saloon.
Raccoon.
You know
Saloon.
about it? Oh my God, I stumbled on that last night and I was like, I find the weirdest channels, but I was just like fascinated watching raccoons go down slides and
That is
I-
funny. I
I
gotta find
thought
that.
about 2 nights ago, and I clicked on it, but they weren't doing anything. The little guy.
They're being boring.
Yeah, they were just kind of, chilling out there. I used to watch one. It was a squirrel, and the squirrel,
I love squirrels.
she was pregnant, and they had cameras looking in her nest box, and it showed her giving birth to the
Aw.
babies, and then raising them and feeding them and all kinds of stuff. It was cool.
I love
Aw.
raccoons, little trash pandas. They're so freaking cute. They
yeah,
get
I
me
was
all the time.
telling Lolita, I just know you'd have one of these if you didn't think your hubby would find out. And she's like, yeah.
I have an old shed that I
Sure.
fully plan on converting into a raccoon saloon.
And then I told her, like, you definitely need to put a live stream camera in there because that channel has
You could have a cat
8,000.
saloon.
Yeah,
8,000
I-
subscribers.
tried to make a hummingbird channel, but I need some kind of Wi-Fi mesh kit to get Wi-Fi out in the back of my house because, like, I'm kind of in the woods a little bit, and I can't even pick up the like the hotspot, so I have to kind of tweak it a little bit, or just
I'd
get
love to watch
new
that.
The
That would be
hummingbirds.
Now, when April the giraffe,
Oh, I watched that.
oh my God, I tuned in so much that
I
time
did too.
she took forever to have that calf, and
She
we
did.
were all
You know, the
waiting
poor
and
thing.
waiting for that calf to be born.
Days,
I was
weeks.
like constantly checking in, and I'd go do something and I'd check in because I was just so sure she was going to have it and I was going to miss it. But I did actually get to catch it.
My
Yeah,
longest
I did too.
labor was like 4 or 5 hours, and that was agony. I could not imagine being in labor for days and days and days and days.
No.
I watched that one too. So Buttercup, see, I'm not so weird. I had
don't
Buttercup.
Just
I had
Maybe just a
Buttercup
little.
checking out that deer channel where they go to the feeders and stuff. And
Polly,
they have
Anna,
possums.
never.
Clean on me has
I
possum.
can't sell Dirty Steve. He's my favorite.
Oh, I
Can I
love
ask
Dirty
Scott a
Steve.
question?
He's an internet sensation.
ask Scott. I don't know.
Scott,
okay
can I
with
ask
me.
you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did
Who's
you
asking?
watch Tits?
Okay,
Did
yeah.
you watch Don Wells on Cow Lady's channel?
Yes, I saw that this morning. It might have been actually, you just highlighted a story. I can't remember if it was story, somebody posted it. And yes, I did watch that.
What was
I
your
saw
thoughts?
last night when I was getting ready to go to bed that he had showed up there, but people were saying that he had farm lady had privated the video. And I woke up this morning
She ain't
and
gonna private that.
it
Come
was
on.
it
No,
was
she
back
did.
up. So
You can tell there was no live chat. So she did something. She edited something somewhere.
Then I think it was Parody Patty that saw that he was driving and she had screenshotted the interstate road signs.
I saw that on his Facebook.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. On his Facebook.
Well,
Okay.
and that was yesterday, and then he was in a hotel last night
Right.
when he was talking to her. But I was just curious what your thoughts were on that.
Same old Don Wells.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Same old Don Wells.
Oh, there's Dirty Steve.
Isn't he so glorious?
No,
No,
that was my opinion of it as well. But I also think that as
waving.
channel holders,
you know you're freaking our chat out, right?
Oh, I love him.
like
wow,
there's some
I see that now.
responsibility on what you put out.
Dirty
Or
Steve,
creators.
the curly hair tarantula. Wow.
She had talked at one point about giving them voices and making a channel.
More people are hospitalized every year for dog bites, more so than tarantula bites.
That's because we
Just
don't own
saying.
tarantulas.
Right?
Oh, lots
I'm
of
just
people own
saying.
tarantulas.
Way more people own dogs than own tarantulas.
So Tits, can you repeat your question? I'm sorry for interrupting with dirty.
No, it's okay. I actually got a call too, which kicks me out for a second. What was I saying? Hold on, let me think. Oh, I was saying that I think as creators, there is some responsibility about the questions you ask. And I think it has been well known that there is a gag order on the boy's case. But yet those questions were being asked. And yes, he's answering, but it's not for YouTube. It's not for YouTube. And honestly, those questions shouldn't have been asked because don't tell me she didn't know there wasn't a gag order, but she also got giddy as fuck when he was coming up.
Yeah, it was
And
highly irresponsible.
and she
to have
booted somebody down that came up
Prayer
and
Garden.
said,
Oh, the other person who tried to say, don't say anything.
"Don't
Yeah, she
talk
did.
about the
Right.
kids," and then she kicked them off panel.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, I just thought, do we just have no morals at all anymore? I mean, I heard some creators say they don't think morals are a big deal, but come on.
I agree,
It,
but we've all
those poor
known there's a gag
kids
order. Yeah,
and those poor kids.
right.
Someday they're going to grow up and find all the YouTube fuckery that was about. And come on.
I
If you
agree.
can't control yourself because you get so giddy about uh Don Wells being on your channel, on your panel or whatever, think about the kids. Do you not? Please.
Well, and here's the thing with Don Wells. We have learned nothing. He has said nothing over
Exactly.
the last
Thank
19 months or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
There is nothing that he says that leads us closer to summer. Why
Correct.
have him on your channel if not for clicks and views?
That's all it's about. And that's
And
why I
you
said
could
she's
tell she
not.
was happy as shit because she got the first on-panel interview with him.
Who did?
That's why
Oh, yeah.
Cow
the
lady.
cow lady. The cow
Right.
lady.
Yeah.
But that's why I said she won't private it. I
Huh.
noticed that she changed the name on the title of that live to include Don Wells on panel. That was not her original title, obviously, because Don
No.
coming up was a surprise. So
Right.
why put that in your title? She's not going to private. She wants every click on that video, and that's the sole reason that she wanted him
Now,
up there.
now watch this. This is I saw KB was saying that I called it last night in my live that BK had already swapped over. So apparently that crew is they were sucking up and loving Don a couple of days ago, and now apparently they hate him now because Don told Benny to stay the fuck away, that he didn't want him up there, that he wasn't welcome. Pretty much that he didn't want none of them up there. That
Well, the
none of them
reason
was welcome, but Don. Now, I understand, or I think. Let me not be so arrogant as to portray myself as a father that has had his daughter go missing and his 3 boys taken away. Because that would be extremely arrogant for me to say that I know how that feels. I don't. I can tell that from the beginning of Don's social media introduction, his YouTube one, because I don't have Facebook, so I didn't get to see a lot of that. But once he came to YouTube, I can see his frustration. And when he was saying last night in that hotel parking lot that he came to YouTube because social media is a powerful place. He's right.
it is.
It is.
And you can do a lot of good things with social media, and he's right.
But we've seen a lot of other families come
He wanted to
YouTube.
keep his name out there, and he felt like that would be the right way to do it, and he's right.
He is right.
The problem that Don faced and still faces, if he's not careful, and bless his heart, he's never careful. He makes poor decisions. He got messed up, in my opinion, with the wrong bunch of YouTubers when he came to YouTube.
Yep.
Take that however you want it.
They're exploiting him.
And exploiting him. And he realized that, and he's frustrated with that. And I can understand, because I don't think that he's had any sort of positive people or therapy or help to guide him through these struggles.
Right.
Because he felt like he could get through it on his own. So he's back on YouTube now to express his new frustration. He has new frustrations over his old frustrations.
Right.
And I from last night being in the hotel parking lot, I feel like he is trying to somehow feel like that he can fix how he got fucked over the last round
Yeah.
Right.
with
He
the same
thinks
people that fucked him over the last
right.
round.
Right.
And I think it's going to go really, really ugly. Now knowing Don, last night he told everybody to fuck off.
Right.
And now all the creators, apparently, I haven't watched on YouTube, but I'm seeing that, I guess Benny and Tiffany's turned on him now, which means all Benny and Penny's simps, the gang crew is all turned on him.
Right.
Now, somehow they're going to figure out a way, because they have to for content, because like I said in my live stream last night, Benny will go to whichever way suits his best interest. So he's going to, not him specifically, but him specifically in the group of the YouTube exploiters out there are going to try to find a way to weasel back in, because they're not going to be happy with Daisy having, access, quote unquote, access to Dawn.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, because Daisy is all changed now, she was all friendly and the lovely host and all that, to try to keep Dawn on there for every minute that she could get out of it,
Right.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So the other ones are going to be trying to figure out, well, how can we get him away from her and we can have our minutes of airtime with him.
Yep.
And
I agree.
right now, Dawn's told them all to fuck off. Now, in less than a week, he's going to be in with one of them.
I agree.
I don't know who it's going to be. None of us know who it's going to be. Is he going to be back in with Cam and Allie, because he was talking to Cam and Allie, or is he going to get back with? Is Benny going to be able to sweet talk and connive his way back in, or is he going to get back in with Ernie, or is he going to go with? Is Tiffany Marie going to try to weasel in some way?
Dolly.
Or Cher.
Or Dolly. Dolly went down there and visited. Yeah.
Yeah, that was most of Benny's last live, was bitching about Dolly and a lot of ridiculous stuff too. Dolly did not assault anyone. He's not responsible for his brother's indiscretions. That was just,
I mean, you can question a lot of things, but there are some things that are just not on him.
yeah.
Honestly, here's my opinion of Dolly.
Supposedly, too, did he not invite Bullhorn Betty and Molly?
Not. No, he went on his own. And Bullhorn Betty and
No.
Molly
I mean, I know Dolly went on his own.
Oh.
But hadn't Don previously invited Bullhorn and Molly?
According to Don
not previously.
last night, he said nobody was welcome on the hill.
Yeah,
Right.
but Don, after Bullhorn Betty came up on Cracking Case's panel and made an ass of herself, Don called them, Bullhorn, after the live and invited them up.
Okay.
So that was after Dolly was there. And honestly, Dolly didn't even go there to meet with them. He got a call while he was there, and Don wanted to meet with him.
Right. Okay. I knew there was
Here's the thing with Dolly. Say what you want. Have we seen video of everything? No.
Right.
Did he go up there and record everything to come back to YouTube to make content to exploit the fuck out of them? Not yet. I don't know.
No.
We'll see what happens, but not yet.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Tiz. Not yet. So we always got to remember that, in the environment that we live in.
I agree. But so far, we haven't saw that. So I'm going to say that right now. He met.
So I agree with the so what.
Down under Crime Talks nailed it right there. That's perfect. A chess game of manipulation. Man.
But
it's a powerful little suggestion there, isn't it?
what I will say about Dolly going and meeting when the opportunity came up because he was there and whatever, however that transpired, that's Dolly going and meeting and deciding for himself instead of taking this person's word for it and that person's word for it. He met with them himself, and he can use that along with all of the other things that he actually was able to eyewitness of Don and Candace's behavior while they were live on YouTube. And he can use that and then make his own judgment, whatever that judgment's going to be. I don't know what Dolly's had to
Well,
say about it,
well,
but
Dolly has said that his head and his heart are, you know, kind of differing with each other because after
Conflicted,
meeting
yeah.
Don Wells, he feels he's genuine. But we've also heard this from so many creators.
yes, a lot of
I've
people have
heard
said,
he's charismatic and that he's all
right.
these things, and they almost feel bad for him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know who had anything to do. None of us do. But you know, I think at least he went about it the right way, and he just gave his feelings about what he experienced and what his thoughts were. And he got bashed by MGL and Bullhorn Betty because they're
Yeah.
just so fucking sure the parents are responsible. And maybe they are, but we don't know.
Again, I'm going to point out, remember how many were so sure that Brandy knew and her Tyler had something to do with Michael, and it has come out that that is absolutely not the case.
I
So
was
be
never.
careful.
I will
I'm
say I
not
was
saying
never
everybody.
on.
I'm saying a lot of people did, though.
Right.
They jumped on that. Not everybody did. By all means, there was a lot of people that are like, "What? Where are you getting that from?"
Certainly.
Can I
but
answer Vet Girl real quick too? Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry, and I'll answer her
that's
after.
all. I was just going to finish my thought. Is that you know, so many were so sure, and that has come out that that's not the case. But that doesn't take away what these people put Brandy and Tyler and their loved ones through during that time.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead and answer.
Okay, so Vet Girl says documentary in the works. Doesn't consent have to be given for minors' property? I don't know about that, but this is what I heard Dolly say. It's not a specific documentary on Summer Wells. It is a documentary on how he got into true crime, which is why he went out there to film part of where he had been, these types of things. So it's more so a documentary on him and how he came into true crime because he came into it through the Summer Wells case and then kind of what he's been doing is my understanding. Now, when it gets released, I guess we'll see.
Well, see that's another thing that the documentary craze. I heard now, like that was a good explanation there, Eliza, of what Dolly's documentary is allegedly supposed to be about. Okay, Agatha Misty saying I think the documentary is about Dolly. Okay, see, I'm glad to hear that it's more about how he entered into this genre of true crime. But we've got him, and see, I didn't know this, that allegedly Nita was supposed to be making 2 documentaries back in the day.
Yeah,
So
allegedly.
Nita was making
I think there are
documentaries.
others that brought their content down for a documentary, but that's just my feelings.
Yep.
I guess Tim Mullen was supposed to be making a documentary. Dolly's going to be making a documentary. I heard somebody else the other day was going to write a book.
Oh, dear God.
I can't remember who that was. I'll have to find it. It was a little clip channel, I believe, had it.
Who let it get out that my grandson was writing a joke book?
Huh?
I did not.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Just joking around.
Oh, okay.
Well, you scared me.
No, I'm like, what?
But yeah, there's I agree with Karma is a bitch. Hi, I'm Karma. Dolly will play this out to get what he needs. Oh, there's absolutely no question about that in my mind. And okay, We Frosty says share in the book TV rights. Okay, I knew there was one out there. So we've got documentaries, we've got books, we've got TV rights, and then who really all knows what Tim Mullen has got in store. I'm sure there's some stuff that, he's got going on that we've never even heard of. And there's probably people out there that we've never even, I know of another person, they have a YouTube channel. I won't mention their name on here, that is involved with a media company that was supposed to come and do a documentary. I do know that because they wanted to interview me.
I'm just going to say something about Tim Mullins and him making a documentary. Has anybody ever watched any of his videos that he's done?
Yes.
I cannot imagine that man having a successful documentary. I'm sorry. Snooze fest. Confusing. Snooze fest. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Why are we making documentaries when we don't even know what the fuck happened?
Thank you.
Right.
That's what everybody's worried about, is like what their end game is. The end game was supposed to be a little girl comes home. That we have an answer about where is Summer Wells.
Right. I mean,
Why
do you
is
think
that
there's not a
not
reason Netflix or somebody hasn't grabbed hold of this? Because we don't have an ending. We don't know how this plays out.
Right.
We don't know who did it. We don't know anything.
All we know is
All we have is a really big middle full of a bunch of kooky, crazy ass players, because there's no beginning. Because from the beginning, we've got Leslie Earhart saying this case is outside of the norm, and Sheriff Lawson saying that everybody is a suspect and a person of interest, and that's really about all the facts that we've got.
Right.
We've got a little thing about a red truck that may have been there on the 14th or the 15th. We've got an approximate time of the siblings saw Summer Wells walking away from the home in the early hours of June 15th. We've got that.
Right.
We've got no phone records. Well, they've got all this stuff allegedly, but nothing as far as any evidence that would help towards Summer case, in any phone records, data, video cams that we know of, witness statements that we know of, eyewitnesses that we know of. We've got Detective Pruitt on there saying that they've been through reams and reams of data. We've had the TBI involved, the FBI involved, the CARD team involved, multiple search agencies involved from all several surrounding counties. Some were denied. So that was the beginning. That was the first 14 days. And then we have a search that was in November.
Right.
And that's all we've got.
Absolutely.
So we've got a beginning. We have a middle full of drama of crazy characters. And then, like you all said, we have absolutely zero ending.
Right. And how do you come out and say, oh, the neighbor has said this, and you don't know. And until you know who did it, you're setting yourself up for a lawsuit. Yeah. Because if it comes out that she had nothing to do, then you can only report what has been reported that she has said. You can't make suspicion go to one person who has not even been identified, as the person who did it.
Right. I mean, it's
crazy to me.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And, like I said on my live stream last night, and I'm not going to say I'm just as guilty as everyone else, because I don't consider having a YouTube discussion, a YouTube channel where you do an overview of a case and then a discussion and you give your opinion on it, and then you interact with your subscribers that are also interested in it. I don't see any guilt in that. I just see that as an activity that you perform, for enjoyment.
As long as your conversations don't encourage people to go call CPS, to go do stupid shit, to go report tips they see on Facebook and heard on YouTube that had nothing to do with the price of tea in China, then it's
Well,
it's it's a different thing altogether than going out and, I don't know, having people related to the case on panel, turning it into a sideshow and distracting from the actual victim in the case.
right. I agree.
I
And
mean,
there's
I
been
would,
so many sideshows in this case. This case is like nothing I've ever witnessed,
I
and
mean,
I've
I
followed
know
true crime a
more.
long time.
Why do I need to know so much about Andrew Hiltz?
Right.
God,
right,
No.
I don't. I just don't. I
right,
don't need to know about
He
that
wasn't
man.
even in the same state. He had only been there like once.
Right. So
I
once
mean, he
that was
only met the Welts
established,
once.
why? But then all of a sudden he had a channel. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the kind of BS I'm talking about.
right, right.
I actually like the discussions, and that's kind of the direction we want to take our true crime channel, is just having these discussions,
Yes.
and not we're not getting involved. We're not getting involved with suspects. We're not going real life. We'll talk about whatever's on YouTube, but we're not going to take our channel that direction because
We'll
it's
put
not
up
right.
we'll put up pictures on our channel of people that are missing and whatnot, and we'll discuss their case, but you won't see us having people up there, and you won't see us thinking that we're going to solve the case. We just want to talk about the circumstances around it.
Right. And I hope that for your all's sake or anybody else's that has ever viewed my channel, I hope that I've never came across as someone that is thinking that they're going to solve the case.
Never.
No, you've
No.
never. Nope.
Because
That's why I'm sub to you.
Same.
I've never done that, but I do enjoy discussing it with people. And I'll tell you right now, I honestly wish, now not drama. Of course, I'll probably, when I get in my little moods, I'll definitely,
I
have a
love your
lot of it.
rants. I'm not going to
We
lie. I
do
love
love
your
a good
rants.
Scott rant.
But I wish that we had enough information to where I could come on YouTube on a live stream every day and talk about the new things, the new evidence that they had in the Summer Wells case, and do that with people that wanted to learn and discuss that
Right.
the way that it was, back in the very beginning, when we were learning, all about the Equus searches and what Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is doing in TBI. Y'all were there.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
I wish we had enough information coming out about Summer and the investigation to where we could do that. Because I can assure you, I'd be doing it.
Right.
But
Well, and that's part
I
of
haven't been
why.
doing as many lives, and because I just can't talk about the same thing over and over and over, hour upon hour upon hour, saying the same thing 50 different ways
I agree with that 100%.
to amuse
I
myself.
do too.
I just can't,
To
Right.
just
because
continue to make
Some-
money
it
saying the
doesn't
same
Summer-
shit.
amuse me. It doesn't amuse me to do that.
Right. These
And-
missing kids are not entertainment.
Right. But-
If we can't have a discussion that's new and different and not harmful, then it's probably time to go ahead and look at another case and see what you can discuss and what awareness you can bring to that.
Well, and
But,
that's why I think
it's important to keep Summer's name out there. We don't want Hawkins County to ever, just like we're never going to let Ziggy off the hook until she pays Cindy, we're
Right.
never letting Hawkins County off the hook until they find out where is Summer Wells?
Oh,
Right.
Robin wants to
And-
know, what do you think about neighbor Don Sheffield?
I think it's Sherfy, huh?
Don Sherfy. Okay, Don Sherfy, he and I went to high school together. For just a refresher here for people that don't know, he was the person when Molly and JLR, Heels on the Ground, we'll just say, the whole group, when they went down there, I think it was in last January, he's the guy that pulled up and got out of the car, and they, did a
Oh,
short
I remember that.
interview and an interaction with him. It wasn't really an interview, but he came out and talked to him. Now, his girlfriend's mother, Mary, lived at the end of Simpson Road, which, if you go up Ben Hill Road and pass Don and Candace's driveway, the next right, the only right, the only turn that you can make off of Ben Hill Road is onto Simpson Road. His girlfriend's mother lived at the end of that road. I went to high school with Don Sherfy. So when Heels on the Ground was down there, this man comes out. Now, I haven't seen Don Sherfy since 1988 when we graduated. I see this man come out, and I think it was Jonathan that asked him what his name was. It was Jonathan Lee Rich asked him what his name was. And he said his name was Don Sherfy. So immediately I Google in Don Sherfy because I was going to see what Don Sherfy had been up to. I graduated with him. First thing that pops up is Donald Sherfy Jr., which is now, at that time he wasn't, but he's had his court date since. He's a registered sex offender. Guilty of, now he is in jail. His sentence was far less. They played it down, of course. But he was using social media platforms like Instagram and Snapchat to solicit underage females to send
Inappropriate
things to him, which he would then download and then re-upload so that other pedophiles
I think you can say it. We're not monetized.
could use it. Oh, okay. So he goes to jail for that. Now, I make a community post because it was hard to hear when Don Sherfy, depending on whose recording you listen to, whether it was Chronicles of Olivia, Bullhorn Betty's, Jonathan Lee Rich's, or Molly's. But I heard that it was Don Sherfy. I knew it was him. So I made a community post acting like I couldn't understand who he said he was, because I knew that people that subscribed to my channel that would get, a notification on my community post would go digging in. And I said something like, I couldn't understand his name. What was it? So a lot of people, they couldn't understand his name. But I think it was like the fourth person that commented, it was like, whoa, have you seen what his son was into? Because that's exactly what I wanted people to see. Why did I want people to see that? Because I'm not saying Don Sherfy did anything, but his son sure has a proclivity to have child porn, as well as people that Jody Sue Brown knows and is associated with. A couple of them, that Randy Haas guy, her tattoo artist guy. We've got Frank Light that was down there that got busted with child pornography. And here's the thing. People that like child pornography, it's not like, well, unfortunately, let me back that up. It's much larger of a problem than what I ever realized it was. But those people tend to stick together because they're not highly regarded in society as outstanding individual if you're viewing or downloading or uploading.
Yeah, that's not a socially acceptable hobby.
So those kind of people kind of stick together. So my thoughts on Donald Sherfy Jr. is, well, it wouldn't surprise me if all them fuckers that Jody Sue Brown knows and that Frank Light knows, if they all hadn't traded damn pictures together, because they all know or have associations of people in that same damn area. And I wouldn't doubt it if all the rest of them that are down there, and I'll throw Don's name out there, and I'll throw Andy's name out there, and I'll throw Fred Hill's name out there, and I'll throw Brandon, the guy that was walking through the woods with Jonathan Lee Riches down there, and I'll throw every one of them other fuckers that are down there. I wouldn't doubt if they ain't sexual offenders too, they just ain't been caught yet.
Right.
Because it's all been questionable.
In your opinion,
Brown,
right?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay.
If you listen to what Don's record is, apparently him and his stepson, well, his stepson definitely, because his son has been to prison for it. Don supposedly had some creepy activities. If you listen to Jody Sue Brown, Andy's had some creepy activities. If you listen to Andy, some things that I don't think has ever been on air, I might have discussed it one time, but rumor has it that Fred Hill was a creeper in the woods down there, because at the time when Andy Bernard's grandma was alive and Andy Bernard was over there, Andy Bernard's grandma would see a cigarette light up in the darkness out in the woods, and come to find out it would be Fred Hill peeking in, poking around there. So Andy makes allegations that Fred's a creeper. Jody Sue Brown makes allegations that Andy's looks at child porn and that Don Wells is a creeper. Don Wells has a history of doing some weird stuff. Donald Sherfy Jr. has some history of doing some weird stuff. Frank Hill has a history of doing some weird stuff. Randy Haas has some history of doing some weird stuff. Her tattoo artist has history of doing some weird stuff.
Jody Sue Brown's son has a history of creeping through woods.
Jody Sue Brown's son has history of creeping through the woods. Certainly does. So pretty much every damn body down there that was around Summer Wells. You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's what I think about Donald Sherfy Jr. It would not surprise me one damn bit. Not that he's directly involved with Summer, but he's involved somehow, or has been at one time, with all them other weird fuckers that are down there. Because like I said, that's not normal in society. So you tend to go to places to where people find that to be or don't find that to be a problem if you're into that kind of thing.
Well, and the law isn't harsh.
And then you
listen
to Jose. You listen to Jose, and it doesn't seem like it's too far off base for Candace and Allie to have some kind of weird behaviors, you know, when you go into that realm as well. And then if you listen to the things that are in Allie's household that went on at Leslie Hill's house, you remember Leslie, Allie's friend, that goes on at the house that True and Hunter were staying at, when they got in all that trouble after Hunter got out of juvie or wherever he was at, and allegedly True was running around up there, and they was like 30-year-old black men smacking her on the ass, flirting with her, getting all
30-year-old men. We don't care what color they wear.
right. But for if people want to go looking up, seeing who these creepos are that are messing around with underage girls, you can't take your eyes off nobody. Then to find out that Leslie Hill has a registered sex offender that used her address, and I believe it was as a contact point when he registered as an SO, who happens to also have an association or some sort of link with Roy Kronk, who was involved.
That's right.
Yeah.
With
Google it. Roy Kronk from Kingsport, Tennessee. It's all there.
That is a weird, odd connection there.
And then you've got whatever that weird connection that was going on. I can't remember. It might have been Benny Keys that figured this out. That motorcycle club that was supposed to get Hunter.
Uh-huh.
What was that guy's name? Josh Duggan or something like that?
I don't even remember.
That was so long ago, I don't even remember. But I do remember that biker club, Bikers for Kids or something. What?
And then you got just recently, what's that crap that I heard the other day that apparently, I can't even remember where I heard it from now, Lord of mercy. That supposedly Ernie Shell's ex-girlfriend, somebody was interviewing her and what his involvement was. He's got some shady past when it comes to the human race in general, I think.
Yeah, he has got a lot of shady around him.
So there's, everybody that's involved in 423 Chase has got some grimy stuff going on. Hell, Benny himself has got some grimy stuff going on. Jody Sue's got grimy stuff going on.
Yep.
Every person that's ever went down there or got involved with them has got grimy stuff going on.
Yeah, think about that. It is true. Every single person that has been down there.
Cher's got some grimy stuff going on. Cher's dad's got some grimy stuff going on. Jenna allegedly's got grimy stuff going on.
The nuttiest stuff.
That Dale Terry woman allegedly got grimy stuff going on. Marlena Crawford got grimy stuff going on. Every one of them as far back to the very beginning. And still yet with all those, oh yeah, heck, I just saw there. Yeah, thank you. Let me scroll. I wasn't even paying attention to the chat. Rhiannon, Grandis's family. Can't forget about Grandis, isn't it? Allegedly, you can't have any contact with her grandchildren up in Wisconsin. And then you've got her brother that's an RSO.
Whole family.
And let's not forget that her daughter went missing.
Her daughter went missing. Dawn and Candace don't have custody of any of the children that they've ever created together. You've got Candace's uncle, Grandis's brother, who's in a home, and I heard they might have let him out or something, I don't know, but he was charged for 8 counts of violent incestual rape. I mean, we're talking about people that aren't good folks. Oh yeah, car 22956. Thank you. Her nephew, Chris Marcos. And then Gary Marcos. You can't forget about him. And I'm still forgetting people. None of those people, they're all sexual deviants, drunks, drug addicts, thieves, liars, cons, manipulators.
The worst of the worst, literally.
And listen, attack me. Go ahead. Attack me because I'm saying all this stuff. All I can say is I'm just telling you what's proven to be fact. Public record on most of it. Look it up. Do your research. Look at all their criminal records, or better yet, just go back and watch the Summer Wells case unfold itself on YouTube, and you can witness daily their past behavior, their present behavior at that time, and now we're at a point where if we were back then when it was their present behavior, now we see that it's continued to be their future behavior. So for a long time, those people have been the way that they've been. They've acted the way that they've acted, and they're still acting that way today. We haven't seen any change or improvement in any of them.
None. It seems like they're getting worse.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If anything, we've seen the behaviors get worse, and some of them have caught a few more charges and went to jail. So I mean, when you look at that and you look at it logically, you know, it's not like if we're shooting fish in a barrel, which one do you shoot?
I agree.
You know?
There's so much to this case.
So much. Lean on Me says Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy Duggan. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Lean on Me. And like I said, I haven't been looking at the chat. Y'all know me. If you've been over on my channel, I can't pay attention to the chat and carry on a damn solid thought, or I'll lose my track.
So Robin's asking Scott H.
Yeah, there you go, Jack of all trades. A bunch of nasty bastards. There you go. Fucking, you can tell them I said that. I've said it before. They are. Hell, look at them. But yes, Gymnastics 101, perfect. They hang together and normalize the antisocial, disgusting behaviors. Absolutely.
They do.
Oh, here's another one we can throw in there. Lips. She's grimy as fuck.
Oh, she is. And now that she's back in with Candace, Candace not learn.
Yep.
We have
ain't learned.
Up on Lips.
Do what?
We have a live coming up dedicated just to Lips and all of her fuckery.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That will be a fantastic evening.
I'm sorry, but her video the other day on cam pissed me off because she knew the circumstances. She put it out as something else and then pretended to care. No, you didn't care, bitch. You didn't care, because if you cared, you would have reached out privately, not done what you did. But now she's back in with Candace, and for some fucking reason, she wants to be in the know-all, right? She wants to hoard this info, keep it to herself. I'm the only person who knows anything. I can solve this case, but I'm not going to tell anybody. Bullshit.
Yeah, what the fuck's that all about? Yeah.
Yeah, I have that clipped.
Yeah.
Last night, two people, I think it was, one was like American Law something, or American Crime something, and then another clip channel had clipped Nicolina going over the hearing. And yeah, she sat there and told a judge that she has this piece of information, only she has it, that she's holding back. And these were her words: I'm holding back.
If she can solve this case, why haven't you done it? Again, this is about a missing child, but nobody fucking cares because everybody cares about clicks, views, and content.
Yep. Where is it?
I agree 100% with you. You know, this is about a missing child, but you know, when you look at all the, well, like you know, well, you know, going back to Daisy, look at that shit she pulled on. How many times has she pulled grimy, gross shit?
Who?
The farm lady.
Oh, yeah. Daisy. I thought you said Dazed, and I was like, no.
No, not Dazed. Daisy.
I love Dazed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her, for everybody that doesn't know too, Dazed has moved over to Twitch. If you go over to my community post, her Twitch link is there. I'm sure it's other places too, but I know she's got some issues with her channel, so I don't know how long that'll be available. But you can go over to my channel and it's there to grab.
Yeah, JSB took her channel down.
But if you look at all these people, and I'm talking about the true crime community, creators and suspects alike, and parents and relatives and neighbors of, and the friends and neighbors of the parents and neighbors of Summer Wells. I mean, geez, oh Pete.
I get it.
Everybody is so putrid.
Yeah, that's a good word to describe them.
Right. Which has all just jumbled this case into a giant mess. I mean, starting with JSB, the neighbor, who I personally don't believe knows a lick of shit in this case, has come out and asked for money and done this and that, and then started her own channel to get financial gain off of Summer. And then you've got, the parents who came out, get drunk, go on a live. We haven't learned a damn thing from them. We're not going to learn anything from them, in my personal opinion.
That's a good question, Bugsy. Who and what are the uppers?
The only thing that I could ever make heads or tails of, and I don't even know if this is correct. I don't know, because it's coming from Candace, and Candace was drunk that night and not being mean, but she doesn't have a very good vocabulary.
Right.
I don't think that uppers was probably not the best word for what she was trying to convey, but it was the only word that she could think to use. I don't know. The only ones that I could think of that would make sense to me would be maybe Tim Mullen and the private investigators.
That's my thoughts.
Because, from my understanding, those are the people that are closest to the family.
It didn't appear to be law enforcement or TBI. It appeared to be somebody outside of that, which, yes, I would have the same conclusion then.
Yep. So,
but by her saying uppers, she didn't come up with that, which makes me wonder who told her to say that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know
I
about
kind of
that.
felt
Well, no, that's my opinion.
Oh,
I
okay. Okay, gotcha.
I was gonna say I kind of felt like when I saw it that she made it up on the spot.
You did? Because I didn't.
Yeah.
I just don't feel her saying the uppers said to say blah, blah, blah. I had more of an opinion like she was directed to say that.
We'd have to, or I would have to go back and watch that video because I'm kind of like what was just said, that she just kind of came up with that, as the conversation was going,
Right.
is the way that I took it, at least at that time. Now, rewatching it, I may see it a little bit differently now. Yes, Jersey Cat. When did she have a stroke? Dawn was talking about last night that the foster parents said that Candace was drinking again, and Dawn said that Candace had had a stroke and she doesn't talk right. Okay, let's stop right there.
Because we heard she had a
Earlier
stroke
on,
previously.
earlier on, a long time ago, that was said, that Candace had had a stroke and it messed her speech up.
Mm-mm.
It seemed like when Dawn was saying it last night that there was a new instance of that.
That
Like
was
she
the
had had
impression
another
it
one
made
here
it.
recently. But
That's
the
what it
thing about
sounded
that
like.
is
But
Cam and Allie never said or alluded to anything like that. When they were talking just a few days ago to Dawn, that
right.
anything had happened to Candace. I definitely hope not. I hope she hasn't had another stroke.
No, in my professional medical opinion, Candace's speech and I don't want to say face drooping, but what you see is nerve damage from abscessed teeth.
Or could it be like a little bit of Bell palsy?
It could be, yeah, but
Bell's
I
palsy, I've heard
think,
that before. One of
Which
my
we
yeah,
That's what
haven't
it.
seen her recently,
it
though.
would be more
So it's hard to say
pronounced
recently, but
with Bell's
prior.
palsy, but what I see is damage, nerve damage from having lifelong bad teeth and infected teeth in there for so long and then having them all pulled. And I'm sure there was still some level of infection when she had them out. Dr. Phil's cosmetic dentist slapped bonding over infected teeth.
Which is insane.
Is
right.
insane. I
Yeah.
don't know
Just
how.
to prep her for the show.
Yeah,
Just to get her to, I think that was the part of getting her to agree to go on the show. Is
highly unethical.
yeah, that's
And then I think she must have been under the assumption that those were permanent. And then I think, wasn't it when she came home they started coming off? Because didn't she start having teeth issues again when she got home?
I think she knew all
Yeah.
along that was a temporary thing.
I don't
Okay.
think she knew that, though. My impression was not that she knew that. She
Oh, okay.
thought they were giving her new teeth. The problem is, and I think maybe I'm not speaking right, and Lolita will correct me, is that if you've got massive infections, even if you get like implants and stuff, you can still get infected, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly can.
Implants,
So
too, your immune system is always fighting against a foreign object in the body too.
I'm kind of up on the oral stuff because, well, as many of you know, I don't know if all of you know, but I'm going through the process of getting full extractions right now and getting dentures myself. So
Oh,
right.
good for you.
I'm kind of up on gums healing and bad teeth and dentures and infections. And thank God I didn't have any infection or dry socket. I took very good care of my.
I hear you, Scott. I
But
went through the same thing.
oh, did you?
Yep. The only part is the top ones are great. The bottom ones are a pain in the butt. Because they,
Well, the only one I started with my lower ones. If I had
Yeah.
it to do over again, I would have got them both done at the same time.
oh, I did mine separately too.
But I did my bottom ones first because they were giving me the most
Mm-hmm.
issue, So of course, I wanted to go ahead and get those out.
I had a partial on the bottom, but then the other teeth my teeth were just falling apart. And somebody could tell you it's probably because I drink Pepsi. Well, yes,
Or
but
you
I
could
still
have
think
had soft.
It could have
I
been
think
so much. Sometimes
yeah,
it's just genetics.
I
That's
think it
what I
was
was gonna say.
genetics. I have
A lot of
lots in
times
my
it's
family
genetic.
that
It's
lost teeth very early, but I
roll
didn't
of the
lose mine
dice.
early.
2 of my kids at age 24 and 13 have never had a cavity. My
That
26
sucks, but I'm glad they are like
my
that.
26-year-old and my 16-year-old, they need a filling every time they go. They go
Oh,
twice a year.
Yeah.
So
and they get
Yeah.
scrubbed probably
is-
all the time.
yeah, and the one has braces too. So when she
Mhm.
pops a bracket, it pulls a
Ugh.
part of her tooth off.
Oh,
My
ooh,
problem was staying drunk for 30 years and
and it
not brushing my teeth every morning
right.
because I would vomit if I stuck a toothbrush in my mouth.
And
So
So
that
alcohol dries your mouth
yeah,
out, and when you have a dry mouth,
yeah,
it
it
does. But
causes more issues.
it's not the drugs; it's the drugs and substances
Right.
causing dry mouth.
Mm-hmm.
oh, come on now, Rhiannon, don't make that crude now. She said, "Oh, Scott's up on oral."
Really?
That's awesome.
That's why we married them.
Good to know.
So Scott, you just
We'll leave
you
that
got
for a
your bottom
different
one
show,
done.
Rhiannon. How about that? That doesn't
Yeah.
fit well. That doesn't fit well with this title. So
No,
That's
No.
funny though. It is funny.
some kids. I've got grandkids that will not drink soda. I'm so proud of them for that. And then, but yet they'll want candy. Like I have to hide the candy.
I
So
think it's just a kid thing. My
yeah,
It
kids,
it is.
I have one kid who hated chocolate. I have another kid who loves candy. You know, you have to give it to her in spurts, but it is what it is. Some of it I think is genetics and stuff. I'm
Yeah,
going through
I
stuff with
believe you.
mine. Like I have to have my jaw broken here soon. It's not going to be fun. Like
Oh, my dad
whoa,
had that done, but not
yeah.
on purpose. He had
Oh
to
no,
have
I
wisdom
have
teeth
to.
out, and they broke his jaw. So then they had to wire it closed.
That's yeah.
Oh,
I go back in next week and we're going to start the second part of the surgery because I
bless
have
your
to have like bone grafting, all this stuff. And
yeah.
then I go into braces, which is stupid at 44. And they've been telling me this since I was 20 because I have a class 3 mandible,
Can you get the
which
clear
is,
ones?
I don't know yet, which
Hmm.
is like hereditary, right? It runs in my dad's side. And they've
Yeah.
been telling me since I was in my 20s, I have to have surgery. And I just put it off, put it off, put it off. And now it's to the point where, okay, if you don't put it off, you know, if you continue, you're going to lose teeth. So, yeah. So
Yeah, you
when
don't
Tits
want
McGee goes blank for a bit, it's because Tits McGee has got a wired jaw.
just
well
don't
that
drink when you're got that wired jaw because you'll get.
No, no, not at all.
My dad did that though. He wanted a beer so bad, he had to sip it out of a straw, and I was like, oh my! I was young at the time, but I still remember.
Yeah, no.
Oh my gosh!
well part of my issue. Well, I know what my entire issue was, but I got sober 7.5 years ago, and once tooth decay has already started,
Hmm.
you can go to the dentist and fix them. You know, get crowns or fillings and things like that. And but there were other things that's in recovery there's other things that you have to take care of,
Hmm.
like getting doctors lined up, getting dentists lined up, getting therapists lined up, getting your psychiatrist lined up, everything that you have to do and all that stuff. It's a process to get sober. If you could just snap your fingers and get sober, we wouldn't need mental health facilities and detox centers and rehab places.
Right.
So there's a process, and you have to get your finances order, and then it's not, some of those places that I stayed in were like $2,800 a night,
Oh,
Yep.
and you
I
start
put my
adding
son
that
through
up.
treatment 3 times. So I know.
and
The
how long do you have to stay in there for?
Within 1 month, my original sobriety date would have been June 29th. My actual sobriety date, June 29th of 2015. My actual sobriety date was July 28th. So within that 1 month period of time, I spent one night in the emergency room, 12 days in detox, 3 days in a 28-day treatment center, another night in the emergency room, 5 days in detox, and 11 days in a 28-day treatment center. So basically, I was an inpatient for that entire month of July.
Wow.
Right.
And some of those places, like I said, ranged in price from $1,500 a night to $2,800 a night.
Right.
Goodness.
And
And
you'd
then
be
you have to
surprised how
pay.
much insurance doesn't cover.
That's sad.
Correct.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy to me because,
In Tennessee, it's better to not have health insurance than it is to have health insurance, because Tennessee has state block grants where they'll cover it all. Or if
Oh,
you have
Oh.
insurance, the insurance only pays partial. And then you get out from your inpatient and you have to go to outpatient. And that was a 6-week process because I wasn't playing games. I needed to desperately not drink again ever.
right.
I really needed to never take another drink of alcohol in my life. And so I was willing to do at all costs what it took to get me in a position to where I was well suited to face this world and the people in it without having to take a drink to get through it.
Right.
So anyway, when you get out, and I was single parent, I've raised my son since he was 6.5. He'll be 21 this birthday. So I had all, to deal with that, and I'm not complaining or playing a victim. I don't play that shit. I'm just giving a description of when you get sober, things that sober people have to face. You have to face responsibilities and accountabilities, and you have to go to work and clear up the job that you screwed up so bad because you took so many sick days off and called in so much and so on and so forth. Anyway, it's a process. And by the time you get through that, something has to be last and something has to be first. Well, at that time, my teeth had already started, of course, getting in bad shape. But the money was better spent on other things that took priority over my teeth. Because at that time, my teeth weren't causing me a bigger issue. Now my son's grown up, graduated, went off to college. He's out doing his own thing, renting a house, got his own job, so on and so forth. Got the kid out of the way. Now it's time to fix dad, because he's out working, earning his own money, so I can take the money and apply towards my lack of taking care of myself. It's the price you pay when you stay drunk for 30 years.
Right.
But congratulations on that.
Yeah.
So it's all a process that you have to go through to do it. But
I understand more than anybody because, and I've spoke out about this before, like I have a son who is 26, who has now been clean for 16 months for a meth. And the shit I went through, just as a mom. And by the way, I'm going to promote this for a second, but if you have a child who is an addict, there are Facebook groups called the Mother's Addict. And each state has their own chapter. Those women were the most amazing people to me because they knew what I was going through and I could vent and I could tell them everything. And it all stays there, but they know, right? A lot of people don't understand. And a lot of people, especially as a mother of an addict, they think, oh, it was you, right? You did bad parenting. No, it wasn't me. My son was raised you know, in a great house, in a loving house, but he went to a party in Boulder one time and somebody offered meth, and I never got my kid back for a long time.
Right.
And so I would say, yeah, there's a Facebook group called The Mother's Addict. And then through that, you can get each state's chapter. And those women are so amazing if you're the mother. But I did the same with my son. So he's 26, but after meth use for so long, and he's been sober now, you know, yeah, his teeth are taking a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, if we can't fix them, we'll replace them and you'll have great teeth. And, but, you know, I just paid for him to get the gum grafting, bone grafting, that kind of stuff done. And then he had to have some other surgeries and stuff. So I went ahead and paid for it and did it. I don't know if it'll help, if it won't. The problem is that our dental insurance sucks.
Well,
and teeth are so important to your health. I mean, so important, like with your heart, with everything. They're
yeah,
so important, but our dental insurance covers like what, $1,500 to $2,500 a year.
I don't have any dental insurance, so all of this that I'm
It's
doing
not good
is
anyway.
straight
It's
tax.
really not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
have Delta Dental, and I think it only covers like 60%.
But it has a max year, because that's what I'm going through right now. And so I'm having to pay out of pocket for all my stuff. And I had to pay for my son, although he did, you know, like, okay, I'm 44, I have a 26-year-old, and that did make me feel old. But when my son turned 26 just a few weeks ago, I got an email from our insurance that says your kid has outed, like he's aged out, right? Because they only cover up to 26. That made me feel old.
Well, thank God you were able to see him turn 26.
Right. Oh my God.
Oh no, I mean, I've never told his full story, and I probably never will online, but these girls
Each
know
them.
his full story.
I
And
agree.
it's incredible and it's amazing. And I'm so happy that I got the miracle that many people don't.
Well,
You
I
gotta
will
be-
definitely commend him. When I got out of rehab, I worked for in a recovery clinic. It was actually in Greenville. I've got a friend that works for well, I'm not going to put the name of the organization out here because a lot of people hate me and they'll go real life. But anyway, it works through the state of Tennessee to get recovery centers set up in the counties here in Northeast Tennessee, because there's so many people that need recovery, but there's so few places that you can go to get it. Hawkins County was one of those counties, but I happened to choose Greene County. And because there was a doctor that had heard about me from one of their patients that went to AA. No, they actually called the AA hotline. That's what it was. They called the AA hotline. Then I ended up knowing somebody that knew a patient. Anyway, I went down and we had a interview process, you know, kind of thing. He interviewed me and wanted to see, you know, what he wanted, a real life guy, somebody that had went, you know, through the struggles and was familiar with all of the procedures, you know, going to the emergency room, going to detox, going to rehab, going to outpatient, so that I could benefit his clinic, you know. And I worked with a lot of people that struggled with methamphetamine addiction. And of anything, any drug that I've ever seen besides one, and they would tie, meth is the devil.
Absolutely.
The other one would be bath salts / gravel.
Yes.
Bath salts and gravel are horrible.
And it permanently fucks your brain. I don't think I have ever seen anyone become normal again after bath salt use.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But-
how my son, he had meth-induced psychosis. And occasionally he would show up at my house, and it was, you know, and don't get me wrong, I fought for my son. I had him arrested once, and it wasn't my fault. But I'll do whatever I have to do to get my son clean, right? So I called the cops on him. It was him who got irritated after telling the cops. Oh my God, I can't even tell the whole story. I won't tell it. But anyway, the psychosis was crazy, the meth-induced psychosis, and he got mad and he had a Taco Bell cup and he pulled the lid off and threw his drink out and there was a syringe in it.
Mm.
And he went to jail. And I would do it again because I'd rather my son be in jail than be on meth. But the cop told me, he said that because of, you know how now you have to show ID at the pharmacy to get certain medications and you can only get so much, because they restricted all that. It's coming from other countries and it's not the same as it once was.
Right.
And the
Well,
cop told me most people don't come off it.
Well, like I said, in my time of my partying days and seeing people on it, and then my time of spending, time in inpatient and outpatient facilities, and then the time that I worked at the recovery clinic, I got to see a lot of people on every drug ever made, I guess. And I saw more relapses from meth users than anything, by far, hands down.
Yep.
By far, hands down.
I agree.
So.
And I put my son through treatment 3 times. The first time, and I'm not even kidding you, this is where I learned it from. There's an app for that. They forgot to take his phone. He got on an app and he ordered somebody to bring him drugs to the facility, and they did it. So he got kicked out.
Yeah.
And then, the second and third time I would think, oh, this is it. No, it wasn't. But most insurances don't cover, and a lot of people want to get clean, but a lot of insurances don't cover, or people are uninsured and they don't have $30,000 to spend on treatment.
Yeah.
Because like the second time my son went in, he was inpatient for 5 months. And then the third time he went in, he was inpatient for 8 months.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And those still didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I learned something. Recovery can actually be free. It actually can. But there are some of us, and it does not make you any stronger or weaker than the next alcoholic or addict, that need a little more help than being able to do it on your own. There is no shame in having to go to the emergency room and ask for help, or go to your primary care physician and ask for help. You're not weak when you do that. You're actually strong when you do that.
Very strong.
Because you realize that you've run up against something that you can't beat on your own.
Right.
And that was, my case in many, many of the
If you have
people
anything
that
else,
are in recovery that are out there. They figured out that I could not drink. And that's why I had 2 runs of it, the emergency room detox and the rehab, because I thought I'd learned enough that I could go out and do it again. And in less than a month's time, I was back in the emergency room, back into detox, back into inpatient, because in that month, I learned beyond a shadow of a doubt that I could not drink. I had to be put up somewhere behind locked doors to where I couldn't get to alcohol, because I would get to alcohol regardless. I would. And when I learned that, my recovery turned 180 degrees, because I realized me and myself, I could not keep myself from drinking. As many times as I would tell myself I wouldn't do it, I would do it. And that's a sign of strength. If you realize that and you go and you voluntarily admit yourself to a treatment center, so you'll be behind locked doors so that you can't get to your substance of no choice. I hate hearing people say, what's your drug of choice? Hell, my drug of choice at one point in time was damn near about anything I could get my hands on. What I'm concerned about is my drug of no choice, the shit that I'm doing that I don't want to do no more, but I just can't stop doing. Regardless of what happens to me, whether it's jail, whether it's my wife leaving, whether it's getting fired, whether it's the judge telling me he's going to lock me up, regardless of what. That's what I'm concerned about, is what's my drug of no choice. That's the one that keeps landing me in the damn problem.
I get that. Because you wanted to not drink, right? But you just couldn't not drink.
Correct.
Yeah.
In some of our literature, it says that alcohol became paramount to everything. And if you look at what the definition of paramount is, and then you look at what the definition of everything is, everything includes jobs, health, jail time, relationships, mothers, fathers, children, jobs, everything. A drink was more important than everything, to the point that it was paramount above everything. But I did not want to do it.
Right. I get that. That's my son. He would always tell me, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to do this, but he just couldn't stop.
Yep.
And I knew he didn't want to. And
my mother used to fuss at me. She would say,
I'll tell a part of his story. I'll tell it because maybe it helps somebody else. But a part of his story was on May 6, 2021, which is honestly how I got into Summerwell's case, because I was sitting in a hospital. I got a call. The first call said, your son's dead. I didn't even know this person. Didn't even know him. They said he wasn't breathing. It wasn't until I finally could figure stuff out that he had been put to a hospital that I found out he wasn't dead, but he was on life support. He had been unconscious, no breathing, no heart rhythmias, nothing, for an hour before paramedics got there. Paramedics got there. They were able to revive his heart. It took him about 30 minutes the first time. He flatlined on the way to the hospital. It took him another 14 minutes to revive his heart, and he was on life support. I went through the worst time of my life. Not knowing what is the right call, what is the right decision. Do I give up? Do I take him off life support? What is his quality of life going to be like? And I just, finally the neurologist called me and he said, let's address it in 6 months to a year. Let's see where he's at. So this was supposed to be a long-term thing. And I said, okay. I mean, he has massive anoxic brain damage from no oxygen to the brain. And he was 24 at the time. And like probably 8 weeks later. So this was in June, right? So I was at the hospital every day, but obviously couldn't talk to him. So that's how I came to be in the Summer Wells case. And he woke up. He woke up. And he remembered me. And It took a lot for him. I mean, he had to learn to walk, talk, eat, everything again, but he did it. And he's 26 and he snowboards and he drives and he works 3 jobs. And he doesn't remember a lot of his previous time.
Folks, that's strength right there.
It's amazing.
It is. He is a rock star.
That is strength. And that all leads me back to, we got on this subject because of, well, all the fuckery. And I think it was Carol Johnson. It was Carol Johnson that I was talking to. Here's the thing, when fuckhead, all the fuckheads that are accusing any of us that are out here on YouTube of being on substances or whatever, and you have no proof that we all are, you all can fuck directly off.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because here's the deal. People were talking this shit, the most recent one, and it's been done many times, and I don't give a damn how y'all feel about Cam. I don't give a shit. Cam is an addict, and he has been in recovery and has been clean. And if he messed up, don't you fucking joke about it. And don't you fucking poke fun, because I'm here to tell you, if you have ever been around the recovery community, you know that a relapse can mean an OD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you never know when you relapse if that's not going to be your time.
Yep.
So for you to make some kind of sick joke on the fucking internet about somebody's disease that possibly could have killed them, for them slipping up one time, fuck directly off.
I agree.
Fuck directly off.
And that has nothing to do with Cam, because if it would have concerned anybody else, if it would concern you, the very one of accusing him of doing it, I would say the same thing about the ones that accused you of it.
Yep. And I think that's why, honestly, even before I was a jerk, Cam holds a little special place to me, because he came out, he said his story, he admitted to what he had done, and I emailed him. And this was before I was ever a jerk, way back when. And I said, you won me over, and this is why. And I told him my story, and we had conversations about, my son. And that's how he won me over, was because he was real, he was honest about it, and maybe it could help one other person. You never know. You don't know what anybody else is going through. But I also know the bullshit could put a former addict back in a relapse.
It could, if they're not on.
Worth it.
And here's the thing. Last night, before Cam did his live, he kept saying, I called him. I didn't call him. He called me. But that doesn't matter. He called me about a totally different situation. I interrupted him because I wanted to get some answers. And that's why Carol and I was talking about it. Because there was a paragraph that I was going to read to Cam out of some of our recovery literature. And I told him that it was coming from a place of genuine care and concern if what these rumors were happened to be the truth. Because regardless, if I think that there might be somebody out there struggling, and I think I might be able to help them, I'm going to give it that whirl. Now, I can't keep anybody clean and sober, just like I can't get anybody drunk or drugged. They got to do it. But I just simply asked him last night when he called, I was like, I want the damn truth. Tell me when the last time that you used was beyond the limit of what your doctor prescribes to you. And he told me, just like he's told everybody else, just like he was saying in his live last night.
He has. He told us.
December of 2021.
Yep.
And he ain't done nothing, according to him. And I got to trust him, because I don't have any proof that otherwise. And you know what? None of you all motherfuckers do either.
Nor is it any of our business, really.
No, but he
Nor is
told
it
us
any
he
of
was
your
clean
damn
for
business.
6 years, and he did have a relapse. But part of relapse is part of recovery. And pulling
Absolutely.
yourself back out of that and getting yourself back on track, I commend him.
Well, that's what the point that I was going to make. So here's another thing. He admitted that he did in December 2021. Listen, fuckers, it's January of 2023. It's been 13 months since that happened. So y'all fuck off. What are you trying to do, to drive him to do it again?
I think they are.
Yeah.
Sick fuckers.
I really think they are.
You sick fuckers.
Yeah.
Because
You should be damn ashamed of your damn selves. You're fucking pathetic to do that to a person, whether you like them or not, because of something they said on the fucking internet. For God's sakes, would you fucking grow up?
Yeah. Unlike everybody else that wanted to just run with rumors, we called them, we talked to them, we asked.
We had a long conversation with Cam, and
it was a great conversation. And
oh my God.
What you people are doing to them. That's all I'm going to say.
And what you people don't even know that we will never tell. This is his story to tell. But it's fucked up. That's all I have to say.
Beyond fucked up.
We see you. Yeah, we see you.
Back off. Just leave him alone and back off.
We
don't try to take creators' sides. We try to be independent, but I do have a soft spot because of what I went through with my son. I absolutely have a soft spot for him. And so,
I would say that Cam is a friend. Definitely a friend.
Absolutely.
But you know what?
We be my son's age, so it grabs my heart.
Yeah.
Right. And what we didn't do is we didn't take it to YouTube. We didn't blast anybody. We wanted to know what was going on.
We wanted to know if Cam needed anything we could do if he needed any help, if there was something wrong.
And we didn't accuse him either. We just listened. We just listened and listened to his story and listened to what was going on. We didn't come out accusing him of anything. We listened, and then we formed our own opinions.
Yeah. And
my opinion is he is not on drugs.
No.
But there is some fucked up shit going on.
Very fucked up shit. No, he was cool as a cucumber. As soon as we got him on, he calmed down a lot. And he has stuff going on like ADHD and God only knows what else that he's not being treated for. So, like when people who are anxious to begin with kind of get caught up on a particular topic, it kind of seems like they might be, spinning a little, but that's just him in his natural state. That's not him on some kind of stimulant. That's just the way his brain works.
Well, that's what I talked to him about.
If he was on, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's what I talked to him about, and that's what somebody else, who I won't say, talked to him about, is because my son was ADHD, unmedicated, and ultimately that's what, not knowing to me, right? I didn't know. I wish I would have known. I didn't know that's what led him to drugs, because it calmed it down.
Yeah, no, he was as cool as a cucumber, but listening to like his mod here just said YouTube has put them through absolute bullshit. Enough to anybody would have gone off the deep end.
Yep.
And for what? For what?
Right.
Just because he wants to try to find out what happened to that little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
people want his sources.
everybody. What the hell is wrong with you guys? What the hell is wrong with you that you would do all the kind of things that you're doing to Cam and any other creators that you're doing it to?
Right.
Yeah.
Simply are trying to just find answers. Cam and Allie came to YouTube and started a channel because they heard about a little girl that disappeared and they wanted to help. It tugged at their hearts. It reminded of them their own children, and that's where they started at. That's where they've stayed. They haven't done a lot of stuff. Yes, did they talk to Dawn and Candace and all of that? They did, but did you see them videoing that and posting it up anywhere? You didn't.
No, and
No,
truth
we
be
seen
told,
videos, but not videos of
they
the
ha-
drama.
actually found more missing kids than anybody else on YouTube. I was in that live that night where
That's
that
right.
runaway girl called them.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're
No,
not
I
helping
think my
Summer
honest
Wells when
opinion
you go
is,
after these creators
yeah, my honest
with the
opinion is
fake BS.
they have amazing hearts
They
and they
do.
truly do care. They care.
I agree fully.
Which is why I take a little bit to heart. I do take it to heart. Anytime there's somebody is being blamed for addiction, I take it to heart because I've been through this. I see my son. I see my son in him, and I don't deal with that well.
Yeah, I
I have a
think that
soft spot for recovering addicts.
I honestly believe that if they could finally find out, I'm not saying necessarily they will be the one to find it out, but if an answer is ever found out about Summer, then Cam will say, oh, maybe it was worth it. But right now, he's been put through hell, and he just keeps coming on and keeps looking for answers and trying his best. But I promise you, he's not feeling like anything's worth it right now.
Right. Which makes it hard to want to come on.
And it makes it hard to trust too, because people have gotten close to them just to stab them in the back, to steal their sources and then to ice them out of
It's
stuff.
sad.
It's fucked
What
up.
the heck is, like, what is the point? Why would you want to run off somebody who has done so much work to try to find answers? Why would you want to run somebody like that off? That doesn't make any sense. That makes you a very bad person, and maybe you should go on the suspect list.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. It's insane to me.
Fucking sick. Also, you can be the first one to break the story.
Lean on me. We like you here. I adore you.
Well, we love Lean on Me.
I know. I adore her, and I love Dazed. I've actually come to like the smaller channels lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Me too. Me too.
100%.
Now I can't wait to watch the Raccoon Tavern.
Saloon.
Saloon,
I don't
sorry.
know. Yeah.
Can't wait to
Raccoon
make a
Saloon.
raccoon saloon.
There's a
Those
video on there that I
raccoon
happened to
saloon.
catch this morning, and one of the raccoons, I had like this ball thing hanging, and it swings on it. I laughed out loud watching that thing swinging back and forth, and it got off and it conked him in the head a couple of times. And,
Oh,
oh, it's great.
we don't get them. We just get possums over here and squirrels. I'm sure there's raccoons, but my dogs should probably chase them down. And
Hey, have y'all seen the video of that hawk that caught that squirrel and the squirrel escaped?
Oh
Well,
my God, no! I gotta look that up though.
they don't know. The hawk caught the squirrel, and then he messes around with him for a little bit. It looks like he's trying to position him, and the squirrel's not cooperating, of course. And then the hawk flies off into the woods with the squirrel. Well, the next day, there's a squirrel comes up and it's got a sore on its side. And they say, could this be the squirrel? Could this squirrel have escaped, from that hawk? I think there was like 10,000 comments underneath it. But it was pretty cool.
I didn't realize they could pick up what they can pick up.
Yeah, they can.
I see them swoop through the trees around here, and
they can pick up bunnies.
Yeah, bunnies, and I think small dogs and cats.
Yes.
And
yep.
Oh, Rennie saw it.
It
was crazy. The squirrel survived.
Yeah.
It's neat
thing
to watch the juvenile hawks around here as they're learning to hunt. And that's what I think that was the one last night.
That's fascinating.
Was a juvenile hawk catching an adult squirrel,
Do they have an older one that shows them, or do they just out on their own?
Yeah, they just
wow.
They just do it on their own. But
so we have eagles down here, and I was so surprised, and I want to see them. We're not that far away, but I want to go get my camera out and take pictures of them.
Is Natasha a mod at Cam's? I'm just curious, but absolutely, yes. I agree with what you said.
And KB wants to know, or Indy wants to know, how tall is Scott?
Yeah, I'm putting it in chat right here. 5'11", Indy.
That's pretty tall, considering, at least to me.
Yeah, it's almost 6 foot.
Yeah, it's almost a foot taller than me.
I know, me too.
Y'all are short.
Yeah.
I used to be 6 foot, but I'm also 52, so.
I asked my doctor about that, and I went in, and I said, I haven't shrunk. And he's like, nope, you're doing good.
Oh, gosh. I hope I haven't shrunk.
So, my mom did. And
my mom has.
I can't afford to shrink. I cannot afford to shrink.
Osteoporosis runs in my family, so
you could go through that.
Yeah. No, I take extra CalMag to make sure it doesn't.
Now my oldest, when she was 17, I took her in, and she swore to the doctor that she shrunk 3 inches. I was like, no, you didn't. You don't shrink when you're that young. She swore she was taller. I was like, no.
Oh God!
What I didn't realize was my grandma, my mom's mom, had osteoporosis real bad, and she shrunk a lot, but she wasn't really actually shrinking. I guess is her back.
Yep.
Was arching.
Oh.
So it would just a little bit of arch in your back, over a long space, from your pelvis to the top of your head. A little bit of an arch can turn into a lot.
I'm not going to lie. I just sat up straight right now.
No, did you?
Straighten that posture out, man.
So as the osteoporosis would, as the arch would increase in her back, of course, naturally her overall torso height would get shorter, It wasn't actually that she was quote unquote shrinking. It was just her spine was changing. The configuration of her torso was changing. which in
Right.
turn made her shorter, as far as like actual physical measure.
Mother says her feet are shrinking. My
Hmm.
feet have always been wide and short.
I
So I'm
wish
like,
my feet would shrink.
I have small, wide feet.
see, that's me. I have small, wide feet.
I have
Oh
long,
my-
skinny everything.
Yes, you do. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
No, I need like an 8.5 shoes, and it looks like clown shoes because I'm so little.
Isn't that weird? See, my daughter's the oldest one is 5'3", and she wears a 9 shoe, and I'm like, it's crazy.
I'm
But
5'7". I wear an 11.
oh, you're kidding?
Every time I
Wow.
had kids, my foot grew.
An
No.
11?
11.
See, I always
Wow.
wondered. I've heard that could happen when you had kids. Now, mine didn't do that. They just got fatter, I think, but they didn't get longer or anything. But that's crazy.
What? Lean on me. Somebody blocked you in Cam's chat last
We already
night.
know Cam has some rogue mods. We pointed out a few to him that we felt.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Cam didn't even know that mods could block
Yeah.
until the other night. He said,
We're
I
like-
thought they just time people out. No,
He gets so
they
many
block.
people in his chat. He can't.
Yeah. And we said
So
to
he
him,
knows he has rogue mods. I would
Send
email
him an email. Yeah, send him an email.
He will unblock you. He's trying to figure it out.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
we pointed some of them out that we saw. So yeah,
Bird
I
on a
would email
wire.
him too.
Oh,
I would
Alright,
tell that to anybody. If you were blocked in Cam and Ellie's, I would just email him.
I gotta dip out of here. I gotta vacuum and feed my cats.
But we
They
have to
gotta
play
vacuum
one
the
last
squirrels.
video real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump down too, ladies, and let y'all close it up.
night,
Okay.
Scott.
Circle
Right.
jerk style.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks,
thank
Scott.
you all so much. I always enjoy you all.
Thank you.
All righty.
Good night.
Good night.
Lolita, we need to play one video.
Okay.
Yes.
What are we playing?
Just that
Yeah.
one. Because
It's
I'm
worth it.
gonna have to mute
this
so I don't
is-
bust up
this is
laughing and
funny.
fall on the floor.
This is the best.
It
Colleen.
is so
Colleen
good.
came
Oh,
on panel
Colleen.
today.
Is that on Griffin?
Colleen.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Let me find it.
Do we know the timestamp? I guess you could just
Um,
scroll to
It's
So,
towards the middle.
Colleen
I
pops
know that
up.
part.
Tanga put it in Discord, the time step. I don't remember it. And I can't jump back to Discord because I'm on my phone, but look in Discord. She put the timestamp.
Oh, look.
4'2", Grandpa. Oh my goodness. We have all sizes in my family, from 6'6" on down to 4 foot,
All right,
11,
Griffin.
10.
83.
It's TJ said it's like at 14,
Okay.
34 minutes in.
34. Oh, okay.
Okay, which one is it? Some
Stop the
thoughts while
BS.
driving?
Stop
Oh,
the
stop
BS
the BS.
speculations already.
14 minutes in.
That's what. Yeah. That's what Tanga put.
TJ said. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, this is going so slow.
And also, can a mod drop Lean on Me's channel?
All right, it's taking me forever. Okay, no wait, I went too far. Oh, come on, freaking click already. God damn it.
Again, if the worst that she has come out of that situation is that JTR sent her something that she wanted, I think.
Echo.
Yeah, I know. I gotta find before I can click on that. I have to find the timestamp here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's taking me forever. My computer is so freaking slow. I gotta stop messing with that green screen. No, what the hell? No, wait, I don't see her. It's not at 14 minutes. Oh, it's before.
Yeah, go more back. Keep going. You're at 34 minutes right now. You need to go to 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Go till you see the person on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, 14:34. No, it was around
Read it
the,
wrong?
no, I think it was around the 30 something.
34. 34. 34.
Right, 30. Okay, there we go. 34:45.
Cindy, it's Colleen Drinky Drink.
There we go.
Kenny.
Yes.
I heard you were very upset.
Horrible about Heidi because she just accused you of something.
I don't think Heidi likes me, Colleen.
Well, I'm sure Heidi's right. Heidi's very rarely wrong, you know. Very, very rarely. I mean, okay, she's got a minge like a butcher's dumpster, but you can't blame her for that, the poor old girl.
She has to work with what she's got. I'm sure it hasn't been seen recently either, so there's that we can be grateful for. Have you sent any PayPals or Cash Apps recently, Colleen? Drinky Drink.
I can't seem to get it to work. No matter how many times they show me and they tell me, I just can't seem to do it. Which is good because I've got no intention of sending them any money anyway. It's just, you know, I like the attention.
How many cans of Special Brew could you buy down at Asda for the same price of a $5 super chat? I mean, quite frankly.
Well, you're assuming that I pay for them. I mean, there's no need to pay for them. If I've got my big coat on, I just shove them in my pockets and off I go.
That's only after the prison pocket is already full with the miniatures.
Yes,
you
the
know.
warm pocket. The warm pocket is always the one that you fill first.
So, dear Colleen Drinky Drink, do you believe for a minute that dear wee Frosty Ewok is lovely 15, being a some or other UK person yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't much like wee Frosty because she's horrible to Purple. She's horrible. So I don't care. But even me, I've got to acknowledge that Lovely 15's got an Essex accent. And, you know, wee Frosty's obviously Scottish. So I don't know how they're confusing them. I mean, it's like you being Australian and them thinking that you're English. It's ridiculous.
G'day, you bastard. Do you think, Colleen, that maybe how many Cash Apps or PayPals do you think it will take for the Snake Pit to accept you as one of their own?
Well, you mean promises of Cash Apps? Because I've got no intention of spending any.
I would wager at least Cindy's other Venmo credit card.
Right.
Yeah, does anybody have Cindy's phone number? Because I'd really like to get in touch with Cindy. Because I think we could really get along. Especially if she gives me a social security number.
Oh my God, can you imagine? I'm sorry to hear that you were poorly recently, Colleen. I think most people would have empathy towards that. But do you not find it surprising that your new friends didn't know you have an adult son and grandchildren when I knew that? And the reason
Do
I
you
knew
know?
that is because you said that on their panel.
Yeah,
That's how I
the
knew that.
first time I went up, I made it very, 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 very clear to them that I was deeply upset by the fact that I didn't get to see my grandchildren because my
Yes.
son's a bastard and he
Bastard.
won't let me. But then I sort of forgot that, and the next time I came up, both my children were dead, which was a bit of a surprise. But there you go, nobody noticed, so we carry on.
Well, there
What
is
a
that wee psychic dude that hangs about in the chat.
Oh,
He's been able to
Colin,
keep a yes.
Colin, yeah. Colin's a great shag, you know. Phone sex with Colin
Oh
is
God!
absolutely immense.
Oh God!
the
Phone
bastard.
orgy.
Oh, you've seen Colin as well.
No, luckily, I'm not into that no more.
Oh,
I
do you like
tried,
to
but
drink from the fairy cup?
yes,
Oh, I'm
I
shocked.
like my muffins.
Wow, I'm speechless. So tell me more.
What?
Colleen, we're just a wee bit
Sorry?
confused. You used to be friends with you. You say you've watched Purple a lot, and then the first time you were on Purple's panel, you didn't know who Tony was. But then you went over to Tony's and did all your thing, and since then you've been anywhere and everywhere that you can get on panel, and even places that won't let you.
I'm really
What?
annoyed by you. Why are you paying so much attention to facts? You're just meant to go along with it. I don't remember what I've said to one panel to the next.
That I have noticed this about you, Colleen. Yes, I have noticed that you don't really remember what happens one day to the next.
I don't actually drink, you know. It's just a great cover story. You know,
It's
so
just a
when you
happy
mess up, you
coincidence.
just say, "Oh, I must have had a drink." That, or
Must
you
have been
blame it
shit
on
faced.
Tara.
Or Chris. She seems to be the scapegoat. Well, wait, ex-scapegoat for everything.
Oh,
too.
the ex-scapegoat.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're-
I've heard that Chris is responsible for the recent death of the Pope.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I heard that you made
I
a
also heard that Vintage was seen on the grassy knoll with a rifle when Kennedy was shot. Oh yeah, they're all in it. It's all a big conspiracy.
I knew she had purchased a book from that depository, and that is all the proof that we need.
That's that Tara in the chat. You're disgusting, Tara. You're disgusting. You're horrible.
Well, let me just say, Tangeray, you have my fullest permission.
I'm sorry.
There you
I'm
have
not.
it.
I'm
I'm
not
alive.
staying here. I'm not staying here. If you're going to have Tara in the chat, no. I'm going.
No,
I'm going.
Colleen, don't worry. That's a fake Tara. That is a troll trying to.
Oh, look at what you did, Tara. Look at what you did.
Tara, look at that. You made our dear poor drinky drink hop off the panel and run her ass over to Liverpool.
Can somebody contact the local intensive carers in the area just to be sure? because,
That's
quite
the end
frankly,
of.
we're never sure. So if we just do a wee check, that would be good. Thank you. Apparently, this happens instantly. Instant harm, instant recovery. It's amazing. A bit like the magic tea. Everything's just milliseconds of effect.
I mean, I still tried to explain to her that is actually just a troll trying to beat Tara to upset her, to not let it bother her and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that worked. Well, I don't think that worked very well at all. No.
No, not much.
No.
Hey
No.
there, Lord and girl. And anybody else I might have missed, I know I missed Miss Lucy. Hello, Miss Lucy. Tits
Lolita,
McGee,
we can
Roxy,
end here.
Tobeans, Tara.
Dun dun.
Dear Eliza, Pollyanna. Oh, you still owe Pollyanna a song, by the way. Thundergun,
God.
Jody Ann, Tango
99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer.
Hey, Lolita.
Knocked
gonna
one
be so
down,
mad that
broke
you
its
played that one
crown.
again.
98 bottles of beer on the wall.
All together now.
At least us Africans know that one too.
She went to go back to him. I know she did.
No, I'm trying to
There you
stop
go.
it, but
There's
my computer's stuffing up.
Pollyanna
I'm
was
sorry,
the
Polly.
Lagging so bad.
Okay.
It's taking me like 10 whole minutes just to click on something.
Well, there you go.
I hate when my laptop does that.
Yeah.
I need
It's
to.
like, just do the thing I'm asking you to do real quick.
I
Then
need
you
to
can hit
reboot
butthead
it.
after that.
No, because I had the freaking green screen on earlier, and I shouldn't have because it always does this.
That's cool.
So yes, that was Colleen's appearance on Griffey's today. I saw that the mods were so delightful and dropped Griffey's channel in the chat. Appreciate that. Guys, if you're not subbed up over there, go over there and sub up. It's a good time every time. I don't make it in there for every show, but every show that I stop in, I have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, are we ready to get out of here?
Griffey says, please tell that Griffey girl to stop singing.
I thought that was great, actually. That was great.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for everybody for coming. And if I can click on this here.
Sub up to the True Crime channel. I promise we're going to get over there and do another live soon.
Yeah. I think we're going to do a Summer Wells discussion, and our first guest will be Cam and Scott H.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke, yeah. And I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke, yeah. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down.